You are now watching Surveillance. Donate or subscribe for more sick twists.
You are now listening to a Light Club exclusive. This is a world premiere. Now make some noise for two bad boys, the real Blazed and Surveillant. This is Light Dubs. And that's a big ass twist.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Light Dubs. I'm really hyped for this one. We're talking a little bit about speedrunning and how that works, just in general with everybody. And, where's Rhett's place in speedrunning? We have some great guests today. We have the great Light Dubs Lord Board, and we have the Enhancement Shaman God, Deance. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I gotta ask though, Deance, what's the VTuber, man? What's up with this? Is this your normal look?
Yeah, well, so I'm officially coming out to the community, the face reveal that I am in fact an anime girl.
Okay.
I want to connect to my fans a little more here, and I figured I should show my face finally.
Dude, that's totally understandable. I mean, it's all about connection, right? It's all about connecting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Board, how you doing, my man? Board, I think you might be muted, bro.
Am I really muted? Okay. I forgot I muted myself. I feel betrayed that Dean's gonna let me in on the VTuber surprise.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been great having two VTubers for sure. But how you doing, man? How's I don't know if you were muted or anything like that.
No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm sleep deprived. I'm trying to gear the second warrior.
Okay. Deance doing a second shaman, following Board's footsteps.
He was ahead of me.
A second shaman. I'm on my 7th.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
what?
He's got a lot.
My current split all I'm gearing is a prop paladin, not a ret paladin.
Wait, you actually have 7 shamans?
I have 7 tier 5 geared shamans, 2 tier 6 geared shamans. I run 2 shamans for splits in overclock, and then I've got a fucking levy of horde shamans for my old guild.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Why do you need so many?
I like my class. It's fun. I don't know.
Okay.
We talk about split alts and everyone's like, I want to play a warrior. And I'm like, I just want to play another enhancement shaman.
That's it?
Fair
you
enough.
just want to play another enhance?
Yeah, it's fun.
He gets so much enjoyment out of pressing the weapon sync macro. It's like
I do.
loves
Listen,
it.
once you get the first serotonin hit of a 25k Wind Fury to double main hand crit into back-to-back crits, you never go back.
And Pelagro and die.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, dude, I started playing enhance. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but I started playing enhance. Not good at it, by the way. It's pretty.
It's really bad. It's grim to watch you play.
Terrible, dude. It's terrible. Dude, I get so lost in the rotation so quickly, and I'm like, oh, dude, fuck. Just start pressing random buttons. It's so bad. But 7 of them, man. Wow. I mean, I was gonna ask you in these intro questions, what classes do you main? But I think we already know about that.
Shaman.
All right. Well, I guess Deance, Deance, how long you been playing WoW, man? I mean, I was gonna ask you what classes you main, but obviously it's shaman. I mean, has that been since inception of WoW? Have you been playing shaman since the beginning?
No, I only started playing shaman in classic actually.
Really?
I started playing. Yeah. I started playing. God, 15 years ago. I was 10 years old. The game had just came out. I demanded my dad let me play with him because he was playing classic World of Warcraft. So he set me up on a little what were those old shitty black box PC?
Like a little Dell Inspiron?
Oh,
yeah, a power machine or whatever they're called.
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what they're called though.
he set me up on that, and I was a warrior.
Of course.
And I named myself
Ooh.
Deance because I misspelled the word dance, and I have
I
been
thought that
Deance
was a
for.
meme the last time
No,
I
I've-
Oh, really?
Holy shit.
I
That's
have been
amazing.
Deance for 16 years because I couldn't spell as a 10-year-old.
Wow, that's actually insane. I mean, I've had like 2 or
That's
3
commitment.
names that I've like gone through, right? Until I like stuck with Blazed, right? I mean, I that's impressive to have it for 15 years, man.
Mine's kind of the same way. I think I made mine when I was like 14. So it's
Really?
like 14 years. Yeah, I was like, I played a rogue and I was like, well, the word spy is taken. So I like Googled up like synonyms for the word spy and I got surveillant and I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, dude, see, that's a cool way to find the name, right? Because you know your name is actually like pretty long and like it's like a cool word. You know what I'm fucking saying? Like
I thought so.
Deance and Blaze. I mean, we just have names, you know. Surveillance.
European people though, they always ask me, they're like, are you French? Because I guess it's like a French word for supervisor.
Oh.
And they're always
Interesting.
asking me, like, I get whispers in French all the time.
Oh man, I bet that's intense, man. So Bored. What about you, man? How long you been playing WoW? We all know you are a warrior shill. But what about what other classes?
So, I mean, I started playing, about 15 years ago. I was like 13, 14. And I mean, I've played Paladin with the name Board for a long time. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I mostly mained Ret until like BFA, like on and off when I would play the game. The first time I really played Warrior seriously was like Kata, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I played a lot of Ret. I did a lot of like, I've got like 10,000 or something ridiculous, 12,000 like threes games on like my retail Ret, and then I stopped playing that in like MOP. So I've played a lot of Ret. So when I say to stop playing Ret, I mean it. These people do not like trust me. Like you're, you're worse off. But yeah, I mean, mostly melee stuff. I've
Mostly
never
melee.
really played.
Yeah,
I
melee
never really played
kings.
Yeah,
casters.
dude.
Podcasters.
Yeah,
the
dude, I can't
only-
play
like-
caster.
It's
The
just the movement, you know, like melee's got the
Yeah.
movement going for it.
Yeah. The only time I've ever felt really good about playing caster is like Kata, Fire Mage, and I wish I had played like Surrender to Madness, Shadow Priest, and
Aw.
Legion.
Surrender
Early-
Madness is the
when
only
you were a
caster I've
one-man
ever
army,
played. Yep.
and you were just the hard carry of the entire raid. That was really cool. But yeah,
You know, I actually played Holy quite a bit. I'm not gonna
I
lie, it
played
was pretty
Holy
fun.
some
Really?
early on. Yeah.
Talking about Holy Paladin?
Yeah.
Oh.
I played Holy Paladin on private server. I played Ret too, but only because I had a friend who had a Ret Paladin who wanted to go to gold bids but wasn't able to, so I like would go for him to buy gear for him, and that's how I like first started playing Ret. And I played Holy like when I was like 12 years old too, back in the day.
Yeah, I played Holy for a while. Then, I started playing Ret for some awful reason in like season 2 original TBC. And dude, I got Duelist in season 3
Yeah,
as
well,
Ret.
yeah, same here.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
Been there, done that. Not
Yeah.
season 3 though.
Yeah,
Season 2.
true.
Notable duelist.
Yeah.
Notable Duelist. Hey, that's a notable Duelist, dude. There's probably only fucking 80 or some shit
Less duelists than
Okay.
gladiators.
at the time, dude. Ret Duelist, man, that Ret wasn't a real spec until like 2.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah,
2,
2.4,
3, whenever
2.3.
when ZA came out.
ZA, yeah, that's 2-3, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that was.
What
it
was
grim.
2-2? Like 2-1
I mean,
was
even
Black
then-
Temple, right?
Is 2 the voice? Is that cursed voice chat
Yeah.
patch? Yeah,
It
the
might
voice
be.
Yeah, that was
It might
that was
be.
actually a hilarious patch because like
It really was.
everybody was talking in voice in Battlegrounds and it was actually awesome.
Yeah. Was it?
I
never knew
don't-
anyone who
I
used
just
it.
remember a lot of racial slurs and like my dad getting pissed about me having it on.
Holy shit! I never turned it
You're
on.
talking about like back in the Power Machine days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I played through Wrath, and then I don't know. I've played on and off since then. Played decent number of private servers, 4 or 5, mostly vanilla.
Mhm.
And now
Just
we're
vanilla
here.
private servers? Not really any
I played
TBCs or
like
Wrath?
I played like 2 TBC. I've never played a Wrath private server though.
I'm gonna clown on you for playing private servers at all, board.
Well,
I
actually,
mean,
I was following that question up with Deance. Did you play any private servers? But from the sound of that, it sounds like you're very anti-private server.
he's not. He's playing on. He was playing Mop like a month ago.
I've played one private server and it was Mop Fresh last month.
Exposed, bro.
Okay.
Exposed.
I mean, I will never play a private server after this. It's just miserable.
I kind of agree with you, dude. Like I tried Synergy, and it's just like, the bosses are too like buffed and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I'm upset about the level of skill that it takes to kill it. I'm upset about how you need certain classes and you're stacking it, and how the meta is not going to reflect how it is going to be in Classic Wrath, right? You're giving all those people the wrong notion of what it's going to be in Classic. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of don't like it right now.
I liked Warmane a lot. I thought Warmane was like a super good balance between not being insanely difficult but also being pretty hard. And like you had to class stack a little bit. Like you needed 5 shamans. You probably needed like 4 or 5 locks for Maru and stuff like that. But I thought I had a good balance. Although, and then like Netherwing came out and it was like nobody killed Maru until they used like Light of a Loon or whatever, and it was like every private server was just getting so much harder to the point of like near impossibility. And I was like I had fun progressing Maru for a month. You know, it was fun and it was insanely satisfying when we killed the boss. But I would never want to do that again.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would play Classic to play like that, like progressing bosses. Like go to retail. Like they're better.
Play
fights.
real fun fight. Yeah.
I don't really get like some people's motivations for playing Classic don't make any sense to me. I did enjoy some of that, like some of those really buffed bosses, like doing like FLK when the shaman can literally just one shot your tank in the first 2 seconds.
Yeah,
because he's got like because the dude's in like heavy cleft hoof, like that shit's actually it is fun, but I don't think it's a sustainable model.
No.
And in the private servers, I mean, because of the how expensive it is to host servers like that, especially when they're really popular for the first 2 months and there's 8,000 people trying to connect.
That's why they always have a cash shop.
Yeah, exactly. The cash shop, the under the table stuff like that shit's just.
We were literally the only no cash shop guild on Warmane, and I think that's why we didn't get a Warglaive. They like literally turned it off when we raided.
Yeah, and that's like, and you don't know if that's true or not, and it's like,
it's kind of crazy.
Like you can't trust the way it's being run.
Yeah.
Wait, is that why we're not getting Warglaives board?
Yeah, we're not paying.
I thought you guys got a Warglaive or 2.
We got our second. Yeah, we got our second in hand.
Okay.
Same, bro.
Yeah, get carried, cleared like 10 raids, hasn't seen one. 10 or
Ouch.
11,
Fine.
I think it is.
Our GDKP will have one drop because this is the one week I'm not in.
Yeah.
No torch, no glaive. Ouch, bro.
No, don't worry. All of our other Ret Paladins in the guild have Torch of the Damned.
Oh,
Even
damn.
our one that has a second Ret Paladin has a Torch of the Damned on his second Ret
Oh
Paladin.
my god.
Got it for minimum bid last night.
And then you got people like
only Ret in guild who doesn't have it.
Then you got people like Canet Nerd posting their second Torch of the Damned with their weapon chain in PvP channel.
With he's got his cursed vision on too, just rocking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And my Ret's so far behind on gear now. And the other day I got a torch on my warrior.
I only need torch, legs, and cursed vision. I only need those 3 items, but
wow, man, that's insane.
I'm not expecting to get cursed vision very soon.
We just haven't seen it drop. Like across
same.
Across my 3 split characters, I'm wearing 2 pieces of Black Temple gear. Period.
Oof.
It's double siphon.
Yep.
Oh well, I mean that's kind of nice though.
That's
you gotta admit,
you
get the 2 pieces. That's kind of nice.
The weapons are a smaller upgrade than SSR, CVOS. What's it called? Like one of the rings. Like it, they are minuscule compared to last year.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's
the
like
weapons
the same
are just
DPS, As I mean, it's not the same. It's like 3 DPS off talon main hand down.
Yeah, like it is. They are like. I think it's like a 23 DPS increase, but there's so many, like there's a 30 DPS increase waiting, a 26 DPS increase waiting.
Yeah.
So, like it's a bummer.
Yeah.
So, have you guys? Today's topic is speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys done any speedruns? What's your history with speedruns?
I mean, I personally don't have a big like long history with speedruns. Like I've been interested like in speedruns, but I've never like speedrun any games. And I mean, I never played in any speedrun guilds on private servers.
I think that speedruns weren't really much of a thing on private. I mean, I guess they were on vanilla,
Yeah.
Yeah, vanilla.
on vanilla,
Mhm.
but they weren't on TBC or Wrath, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that's because those servers were usually really buffed to the
Mhm.
point where it's just not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be hard.
It's a whole different culture, right? I mean, it's about killing the boss pretty much, and they don't really care about trash, right?
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah. It's more about like logging parsers and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but dude,
We're-
thinking about the logs on private servers, dude, they're so bad. Like, have you guys ever used like
Yeah, they-
realm players or anything like that? I
Yeah,
don't know
they
if you
were
guys-
bad.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
bad.
Well,
And they're dead now, so they can't even do it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were also like bugged out. So like I remember having number 1 DPS on Brutalis on my rogue, and then some guy beat it because his log bugged out and it only had like a 4-second kill duration, so he had like a bajillion DPS.
Yeah,
Nice.
those logs were so easy to like, I guess, falsify. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I don't even know if it
kinda
was
crazy.
falsified, but it was just like because there was a ton of logs like that where it was only a couple seconds long, and I think it was just super buggy, like the client that you use to log.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's fair.
we clown on Kira a lot, but like they do a lot to make sure that logs are
Oh my god, yeah.
on the
Yeah.
up and up.
And Kira doesn't
Yeah.
even play TBC, right? So
Does not. Kira doesn't even play retail. I believe Kira just plays Final Fantasy now. Last I checked.
Really interesting.
I
Yeah.
mean, it probably pays. It probably
Yeah, it's got to be a lot
pays
of traffic.
decent, right? Like they probably get a good amount of money from donations and stuff.
I don't know what it was now for a long, because like I at one point was like around in their guild temerity on like retail. From what I understand, pay wasn't amazing. I don't know if it's gotten better, but it was like barely enough to like be stable for a long
I mean,
time.
I'd imagine it's gotten a lot better with Classic, where everybody cares so much more about the logs.
Hopefully, Kira does a lot of. Kira is literally carrying the classic community on their back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is kind of true. It's just because
Although some of the new changes are a little bit questionable, I guess. But like the
Little
life
bit.
tap one, the life
Uh,
tap one is really super strict.
well, how do they
Like
how,
you can hit that limit without even cheesing if your kill just goes like too long.
how do they enforce that?
Uh-oh.
Truly, is there like a set amount of taps in like a certain amount of time?
it's automatic. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know whether it's like. I guess it's not divided by time. Then I don't know.
I don't think it is divided by time. I think it's just taps per boss. I think
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
sure.
Oh, it's only
you
per
can
boss.
appeal
Okay.
it. Yeah,
you
you
can appeal it.
with
Yeah.
them. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, they were just tired of manually policing. So
Healing parse cheesing. I mean, imagine if you're actually like healing parse cheesing with life tap. Not only are you caring way too much about healer logs, but you're making your warlock like sacrifice DPS for your healer logs.
Yep.
yeah,
Healer parsers. Check
Oof.
W.
they gotta go. Damage is the only metric
They
that matters.
gotta go. So
Damage is the only
did
metric
they-
that matters.
did they just invisible here or something like that? Or
Yes,
was this
so-
trash already
Yeah.
cleared? Let me. I want to bring this up here.
So this is actually this is their day one clear, right?
Yeah, this is their day one.
Yeah.
So this is one of the strats that differs from how we did this. So I believe they pull everything with a hunter, distract flying, or no, it's a paladin.
Oh, okay, I
So-
see.
That like day one clears, both progress and overclock us. We relied heavily on paladin pulls. So if you see their paladin is pulling the mob into the corner with a bubble, they're gonna just hold it there so everyone can rocket boot past. For us, we didn't do this. We literally just got up as far as we could on this trash and rocket booted like through them with an invis bot, hit the
Yeah.
top corner here, and then invis with gnomish cloaking device
Yeah.
straight to Gorfing.
Why do they fap?
I'm
Be-
not sure, actually.
So
the mob's
paladin.
stunned.
So the paladin literally pulls them all. Which mobs? Which corner is he in? This is kind of crazy.
He's far right.
like in this corner over
He's
here,
far right.
like over here.
Far right,
Far
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah, watch.
Okay, yeah,
you
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
see
Goes
him.
I
in,
see.
it's
Yeah.
the diamond marker. Yeah, or
Yeah,
the
over
triangle
here.
marker.
Over here, yeah.
We
They all rock
we
boot.
did something similar on private server. Not for like a speed run, but just to skip the trash. We basically did this skip, but instead of doing it like they do with the rocket boots, we did it in like 2 parts. So you go, half of the way with an invis pot, and then you kill a pack or two, and then your invis pot comes off cooldown, and you go the rest of the way basically. Or you can do it with like locks. You just send locks the whole way, and then they summon everybody. And this is the kind of stuff that I really would like to see. If there wasn't trash requirements, I would love to see more of this kind of stuff.
I think invis skips they set the barrier of entry to speedrunning incredibly high, because to
Yeah.
compete with people like us in
Mhm.
progress, you have to be picture perfect with your skips.
Yeah,
Like
you have
even
to
in our
practice.
day,
25 engineers.
yeah, you have 25 engineers. Everyone has to be literally on the ball at all times with these skips, because one person behind is a time loss. Like in our day one, I got auto queued for my engineering trinket and died in this skip and had to be summoned.
So
And
this
that
skip,
was like
Oh, shit.
36
this skip they just did here. Did they do another paladin, or was that a hunter? It kind of looks like a hunter because he's not in range right now.
That is looks like another paladin pulling, possibly.
I'm not sure. It might be the hunter in group 1.
It is the paladin.
Or
Add
group-
one.
Okay.
Don't
Oh,
they
he-
know
Maybe
you
it's
can
not-
just
Oh,
mind?
he's
Don't
the
they
one-
know you can just mind soothe and walk past?
There's so many people walking into the dungeon and shit. I don't know what's
Slower.
going on.
It's way slower.
Yeah, it is slower.
Yeah, I think Adwin was the one who did the first skip too. Yeah.
I think he's dead. I think he's dead.
Yeah,
and
I
zoning.
thought he just zoned
Oh.
in. Yeah, and he's getting a summon right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't
So it's
him.
probably
Deja?
Deja then.
Yeah.
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 So like paladins are the best for all of the skips in BT.
Do they
Like,
do they
it's-
not have a? They don't have a rep paladin in this group, do they?
No.
No, they're running a caster cleave.
Yeah.
So rep
Yeah,
paladins just don't have a spot here.
Because they don't need the third blessing like at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wisdom would be nice, but
they put
with-
up wisdom,
with-
right?
You don't need. We're also like blessing of wisdom. Blessing of wisdom is
yeah. Judgment of Wisdom's still up no matter what
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
prot,
like-
but
in a speedrunning guild. Blessing of wisdom is useless.
and I'm
It's
sure
a debuff.
the Holy probably has Imp Crusader Judge.
Well, one of the prots will have it.
One of them do.
Yeah. They run double prot. No, they just run a single.
Oh,
prot,
it's
don't they?
double prot.
No, it's a single prot and a holy paladin, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah. They did that. Yeah. They probably.
They
I don't
run
know
a warrior.
exactly. I'd have to.
So
Yeah.
because on day one,
Yeah.
the enrage mechanic was bugged, it was essential to run a warrior. Everyone did.
Yeah.
Like we nowadays, whatever, you don't need a warrior, but day one it was
Hey, warriors
bad.
We ran a
are.
paladin, but it took like 4 attempts on day one.
There is actually reasons to run a warrior now. It's actually kind of funny. Not only can they, like, a Tauren warrior can outrange the war stomp on Khazragal, which is cool, but also like they do the most threat on council, and if you want to do the most damage on reliquary, gotta have a warrior. So there's maybe it's copium, but there's a couple reasons to bring them.
Oh, we just have our tanks pump, and then we don't have to worry about threat cap.
Yeah. I don't want to hear about Hyjal stuff.
You don't want to hear about
I just want
Hyjal.
to
Don't,
avoid here.
dude,
we
don't
wanna
worry.
hear-
We got a spot for that. Don't worry, just for you, boy.
Oh no, I don't want
Yeah.
to talk about Hyjal.
Oh,
no
sorry.
Hyjal tech.
Sorry.
I
It's gotta
don't know if
happen.
you guys know the lore, but we lost the race because of a Hyjal bug.
Dude, that shit happened. That shit
No.
happened to me too, but we didn't.
I
do
saw-
the
I saw
log
that
out like you
bug.
guys. But we
I saw that
should-
bug
Yeah.
happen on so many streams.
Yeah, it was
We
so
had the
crazy.
logout bug, and then a spawn didn't happen, so we lost 20 minutes in Hyjal.
Yeah,
that's
the
It was-
spawn
that's
one.
where the
I-
first wave doesn't come, and then all your people start dying, right?
Mhm.
it was fun.
Dude, that I that's crazy that they would release it with that bug, like that bug.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
a 15-year-old game that
Yeah.
we reported the bug specifically. We know 2 other guilds that reported it
Well-
specifically. No fixes.
I mean, look at
During,
Kale. Look at Kale,
beta.
dude. Kale was bugged the entire
Yeah.
time on PTR. Got reported many, many times, and
Mhm.
it stayed that way past release for like 2 months or 3 months
Yep.
with
Yeah,
the
that's-
threat wipes.
I'm pretty surprised that
And
the
Kale's
Vash
still
bug.
bugged.
I'm surprised. Yeah, he is. I'm surprised the Vash bug with the mind controls taking poison damage was fixed before like release. Actually, in retrospect, it's actually amazing
True.
that didn't
Yeah,
make it.
like
Yeah.
That was,
I don't remember any other bug they've actually fixed after PTR. Like
Yeah, that just seems like why it's too game breaking. You know what I'm saying? And it's too it changes the progress world first race too much. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah,
Oh,
like you guys got hit with a bug. It's kind of over. You know what I'm saying? Like it just sucks. It's
yeah,
not-
I mean
it's not fair.
they don't care about us, unfortunately.
No, they don't. They don't. Which is wild to think about, right?
Yeah, because we're like half the subs. Like all WoW subs combined, Classic is like half of them.
I think not only that, right? The hardcore community, people who play the game hardcore, they have 2 to 3 accounts. Like I have 2
It's just
accounts.
'cause
I don't know
they-
about Board. Board probably has. I don't know about Deance. They probably has 7 for all his shamans. I don't know.
My guess is
Ah.
that the way they sold this to their shareholders was, this is autopilot. We don't have to spend any development on this because it's old school content.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of how they booked it to their shareholders. And as a result, we have like, because I actually had a friend who interviewed for the Classic WoW team, a guy in my guild. He interviewed to join the Classic WoW team as a developer.
Mhm.
And he told me that the amount of developers they have is literally single digit,
Nice.
less than 10. So
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That
Oh
tracks.
man.
The game's developed. Nothing needs to be fixed. Send it.
It's
It's
great.
fine.
kind of,
I
kind
don't
of
know.
not.
It just seems like they don't care. They're kind of just like, we put it out and we just back away. We don't even. Just
I mean,
chilling.
while we do provide half the subs, retail still has way more money because of all the microtransactions in the cash shop,
Probably
which
true.
is like that's all Bobby Kodak's signature. Like he's the one who brought all that stuff into the game, and that's his whole domain. It's the microtransactions, and that's where most of the money comes from. I mean, the subs is still a lot of revenue, but that's why they focus so much on retail, is because that's where all the money comes from. And it's only like a small percentage of people that buy stuff on the cash shop, but they buy so much stuff on the cash shop. They're like whales.
Yeah, the whales have ruined video games.
Yeah, I mean every mobile game uses the same like business model now too. I mean, not even mobile games, like every multiplayer game that comes out now uses the same model.
Every game is a mobile game at this point. Like,
Yeah.
Yep. So I guess closing down the intros and stuff like that.
Wait, they wiped?
They wiped just to get to the front of the instance and port.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Oh.
their logout reset didn't work. They
Yeah.
lost this logout reset with
I
just
don't-
like a 10-minute save. So they just
Jesus
suicide
Christ.
into the trash and run back because it's still faster than walking back through all that trash they skipped.
Yep.
Yeah, something weird that happened that we discovered was that you like that logout skip. I don't think it works for them. I think they have to clear the trash, but it despawns all of the like Akama route, like outside of Akama's room. It despawns all that trash, all those demons.
Mhm.
For
Oh,
some
yeah.
reason.
All
So
the-
yeah, it was a giant
All the
loss.
demons in the center room are linked to Gorefiend.
So
It's weird.
let's talk about what's optimal for speedruns. Obviously there's like a huge debate between like Fury Stack and Lock Stack. And obviously like Fury gets really strong this phase with glaives and armor pen and stuff. How you guys feeling about Fury Stack, Lock Stack, etc.? How you feeling about it?
So I mean, like, in my personal opinion, I feel that locks are the way of the past. I feel like by the time we hit Sunwell, we're gonna be running around with 2 warlocks, and we're gonna be running with like 6 Fury warriors. They're better on single target. They're better in this style of trash that we're getting in BT, which is just like you're getting 5 targets, you're gonna blow them all up as quickly as possible. They don't survive long enough, like, for warlocks to really be worthwhile at this point, and it's only gonna get worse. Already getting worse.
I guess
Trash dies faster.
that I mean it also I kind of feel like you need a little bit more time to see how like Warlock 4-piece is going to stack up against like Fury with glaives, because most Warlocks don't have 4-piece yet or are working towards it or like just got it. So like I know Warlocks in my guild, like most of them don't have 4-piece yet, so I don't know. I feel like you might see a little bit of a change in the next coming weeks, but I feel like I kind of agree with that. What about you?
So like
Uh,
I think most warlocks already have 4-piece at this point, don't they?
Yeah,
Really?
a lot of warlocks do have them.
it's really uncontested. I mean, it's literally just going to be prop paladins and then warlocks. So
Yeah.
Ret,
I think the
you
big
know?
contest, or like ret. I think the big issue is mostly going to be like speedrunning in this tier is going to be how much trash can you reasonably just fucking full send? How much can you pick up all at once? And if you can pull entire rooms safely, warlocks will have like
a
a
place.
much better shot at being optimal class. Yeah. Like
I-
they will always. If you're pulling a full room, Warlock is better.
I would be surprised to see anyone like try to do like a T5 comp with like 8 or 9 or more warlocks. But if you can like reasonably pull 2 packs at a time, like outside of a commas room and like going towards Gorfine, like yeah, maybe there is a place. But I'd be surprised. And even then, I think like by end of phase, and as we're going into phase 4, as people get more and more geared like Fury Warriors,
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to imagine.
I can just see it now. Top speedrunning guilds just recruiting warriors with glaives.
Yep.
Just
Agreed.
because they won't have enough and they want more
Yep.
warriors with glaives.
Yeah, the
Speaking
potions.
Hey,
of,
you wanna join in progress? You got both glaives? All right, you get a trial spot.
if you know any warriors with glaives on Benediction Alliance,
That need a spot.
I saw a post about a rogue with 1 glaive and then he got kicked from his guild.
Yep.
He's
Oh,
like,
I saw that. Yeah.
Ugh.
didn't
And
he
he's
ninja
like-
the glaive?
Yeah, I thought he was the GM or something.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he
that what
ninja'd the
what
glaive.
it
It
was?
wasn't
did he
meant for him.
ninja it?
Yeah, that his whole thing was like, I will not be answering questions on whether I ninja'd the glaive or anything
Oh.
like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they're saying get your glaives from Boomer Guilds and then join Progress. You know?
No boomer rogue is ever gonna be.
No. I'm talking warrior.
Boomer
my rogue-
warriors maybe. We
my
could
rogue
work with
fucking-
something, but
My rogue slaps now on the damage meters, dude. Like, not on AoE cleave trash unless he's got Blade Flurry up, but he fucking slaps on single target with the main. He doesn't even have the set yet. He's got the main hand, but he does a lot of damage now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he has 4-piece yet, but
So
I was gonna say I don't think you're gonna actually see top guilds like recruit glaive like warriors or glaive. Like I don't think people are gonna try to do
well,
that.
I don't think
it's
they're going
happen.
to
The
specifically.
top 5 guilds aren't gonna bother because they've got enough splits. Like everybody's running 3 or 4 splits.
Yeah.
yeah, but you could always just get unlucky.
Sure.
I don't think
and yeah,
they'll-
maybe that'll be an isolated
And
thing.
if you're like moving
but-
from like a lock stack to more of a fury stack, you might just not have the amount. Like,
Well,
you might just
so
not
There
have
might
as many
be-
as you want.
there might be
I'll let you
poaching, like
in
targeted
on a
poaching,
secret.
but-
Yeah, but like all of us, we all have warrior alts that have been like every top guild. Progress has got a ton of warrior alts in the wings that have been waiting since 5. We have so many fucking warrior
Yeah,
alts
everybody
that have
wants
been
to
in
play
the wings.
warrior. So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
a number
Everyone's
of ways you can
geared.
run.
Yeah, 2 more glaives and my rogue will get one. So hell yeah.
So, we're talking about the Fury and Lock stack. Do you guys think that's the only 2 stacks that are actually kind of viable if we're going for a stacking thing and sort of, I guess, in terms of stacking and not a diverse raid?
Yeah, I don't think any other class
Yeah.
really brings to the table what they bring. And like
Wait,
a
what about
pure...
what about a ret stack with consecrate spell power set? That's got to be viable,
course.
right?
Yeah, we gotta try that Petric
Okay,
Bulls.
but honestly, that would be kind of cool to see if we did it like spell power set, just trash.
Oh.
Just like, 15 of us,
When you find 15 Ret Paladins that can like actually perform at a speedrunning level, let me know.
Dude, don't
Yeah.
worry. We got
I
it.
can't even find
Because I'm
I've
pretty
not
sure
seen
there's like
any.
5 of them in the world.
Yeah, it's
Just take the
grim.
next 15 paladins that post in nightclub and you'll do fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's get
Top
the
lines.
top mines.
Absolutely, dude.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of good ret paladins out there. Like,
I think there's a lot of good parsing rep paladins. I think there are almost none who play overall like well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, paladins just suck on trash. Like,
Sure, but there's more than people can be doing.
You know what?
it's
Let's-
not like
better sappers people could be doing. There's better I mean, I've seen like very very low like
Mhm.
dark rune usage and shit where it's like I don't care if like you can make it or like you can find places to drink. Like you're better off putting it on cooldown if there's no reason to have seed or night or healthstone up for the next 2 minutes. Like you should be dark runing. Like I don't know. I've seen people not using oil of immolation enough. Like there's all kinds of stuff that's pretty sad.
I don't think it's like that much of a skill gap to like pick up speed running from like just playing the game in a parsing way. Like it is you definitely need to practice, take some time to adapt, and it is harder. But I don't think it's like something you need to be like one of the best players in the world to do well. Like
I definitely don't think either. It's a more of a like it's a paradigm shift. Like your mentality
Yeah.
is so much different in those two styles of guilds
Hmm.
that it doesn't communicate well for like parse brain players a lot because it's very
Yeah.
much a team overall at all times.
Yeah, especially because like what I'm thinking of is like you need mana so that you can like be able to res like
Yeah.
as a res.
Yeah.
Like that's what
buff
I'm thinking.
and
Like
buff
it's
people.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, and buff like
So since we're
it's not
talking about it,
very different.
is
Yeah.
this Rhett's place in speedruns? I mean, I obviously they're more in a Fury stack when they're in a speedrun, but I mean,
Yeah.
what is their place? I mean, what do we do? You saying
It's- I mean,
oil
it's-
of immolation? I mean, honestly, dude, I tried oil
Sometimes.
of immolation. Like it
You don't
it's
use
so
it mid pull. Like, you need to
low.
walk in. You need to walk into the pool with it. I'm just saying, like, there's only so much you can do
Mhm.
on trash that
Very
like
true.
you need to get everything. You know,
Yeah.
everything
You
get.
need to push every. I think one of us had like almost 60k or 70k damage in Hyjal from oil of immolation on day one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's
it's
insane.
like
I had a
it gets
bunch.
there. Yeah.
It's really important like to find as much damage as you can. You know, like every point matters. You know, it's a speedrun. Like just because WoW does it's not like most speedrun games. It's like a limited attempts like over a certain amount of period. So you need like every speedrun attempt you need to like give everything you've got because you don't know if this is the best run you're ever gonna have or the best run anyone's ever gonna have. Like 1 second could mean everything.
Have you guys
So-
ever, just as a little tangent, have you guys ever speedrun any other games?
I haven't, but I've watched
Not me.
a lot. I've watched a lot of
No.
speedruns.
I'm actually, I think 6th in the world for Lord of the Rings: Return of the King on PC.
Hell
Check
yeah,
me out.
dude.
Check me out on speedrun.com.
Very
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Leaderboard.
Hell yes, brother.
Very competitive.
I'm actually getting into competitive speedrunning of Minesweeper. I do it on stream a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
times. Yeah.
Yo,
Not really good at it, but yeah.
the world record holder for that is like a 12-year-old kid.
Dude, that's insane. Like I watched, it's like 35 seconds for cleaning.
Yeah.
that's insane. I mean, my
It's
fastest is
nuts.
250. That's ridiculous.
I had a lot of fun speedrunning various games though. It's like it is so different from WoW to other games because you just reset. If you screw up, you just reset, right? You just go again.
Yeah.
But
It's also
not having
like
that
WoW
is
is way more demoralizing than most games because
yeah.
like you get one attempt a week and maybe less. Maybe
Mhm.
you only or
You're
you run
also
once a month.
entirely reliant on 24 other people.
Yep. that's
And
what I
your
was gonna
entire
say.
raid, like the morality of your raid is infectious. So like, or the morale. So if something goes bad, like, and a couple people are feeling down, like it just spreads throughout everybody. Everybody starts
Yeah.
feeling like shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean you can go and watch our Hyjal VOD like after the bug happened. Like people, I mean, they noticeably played worse. Like it was
Everyone was on tilt.
Yeah, and it's a giant bug that.
I mean,
ruins a
at
bunch
least
of stuff.
there's PTR, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like you can
when
get some
there is,
practice in.
if they are gracious enough to give it to us. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
So really, no Mage Stack, no Boomkins.
I mean,
I
Mage
think-
Stack is more of like a speed kill kind of thing, you know? Like people
No,
did that
this
in
is-
phase 2 for like more like speed kill kind of stuff.
Yeah, like
It's not really they're
stuff.
so they use so much mana so fast. It's like
Mhm.
There
they're
could have
stuck
been
drinking.
there could have been an angle to Mage Stack last phase, like
Yeah.
maybe two
Yeah.
groups, and like if you had enough like Serpent Coil braids, but no one ended up doing it. I don't, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I think it's just inherently it's like it's the worst of both worlds for a lock stack and a warrior stack, and it's inherently more fragile than either of those.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like, and that's kind of the kicker. Like mages are very good and just absolutely irreplaceable as like your casters, even in a physical stack group. Like they're just so good,
yeah,
but they're so incredibly fragile compared to warlocks. They need
Yeah.
they need like warlocks. Don't get me wrong, the warlock copiums. Oh, we need less support, but like warlocks are still screaming for shadow priests, and warlocks are still screaming for totems. So they need just as much support. Mages can do fine without innervate, but like the setup, the positioning, they are just less safe than running warlocks for a caster.
Yeah.
And I think they
They do
are
do
also
more
in a
AoE
bad.
damage though.
Well, I was gonna say I think they're in a bad position this phase because they just have less like.
They're not scaling as much.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they have less room to grow this phase compared to Warlock, and definitely less in Fury. Like it's just
I mean, they're
even if they
literally
started
wearing
higher, they're wearing 8 pieces of gear or something from last phase.
they're wearing their abyss for the rest of the game. So
Yeah,
So, and I mean, I guess we didn't talk about it. Hunters. I mean, in comparison to private servers, hunters where you would stack a ton of hunters, like 4,
Yeah.
5, 6 hunters on some fights, right?
Mhm.
And they just you don't really see them in the speedrunning. I mean, you guys think that they'll maybe see a little bit more with tier 6 with their upgrades? I mean, they get a definite power upgrade in tier 6. Not
Yeah, I mean,
necessarily a
Hunter's really
stack, but
yeah. I think
they're
I
just
think
like
for the
single
next,
target, really.
Yeah, I think for the next maybe 6 weeks or so, you're gonna see for people who go and are doing runs,
Mhm.
you're gonna see a lot of mixed comps where you're gonna see 2 or 3 BM hunters probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're easy to gear for the most part. They just need tier and then whatever.
Oh,
But
I mean, they also need CVOS and they need SSR
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
of
And
need
Madness.
and they need
No other-
madness, and otherwise
no
they're not
other
going to have
hit.
hit cap, and they're going to do 200.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do not tell
Baramos will
them.
personally come to their house and kill them if they don't have hit cap. And
Yeah, it's bad. But seriously, I think by end of phase or late P4, I don't know. It's hard to imagine seeing many BM hunters in
Yeah.
speedruns.
Hmm.
I mean,
Thrash
I think one, especially going so they just scale worse too is the big issue coming up.
Yeah.
They are just a worse scaling physical DPS because they only get a 70% coefficient on armor penetration compared to warriors
Yeah.
at 100%.
Because it doesn't go to their pet. Yeah.
Yeah, even an enhanced shaman has a 90% coefficient on armor penetration.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
90% of her damage is auto
Even
attack.
red is
Even red is
higher.
what?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Red was what 60%.
It's
It's
pretty
close.
low.
Red's
It's
Red's
close.
like
Very
60
low.
or 65.
It's
Yeah,
about
so
the same.
it's about the same as hunters.
Yeah.
But,
Although
hunters or Red's the single red brings something to the party, and if his stack that up, BM just doesn't as much.
Yeah.
So
What were you gonna say?
yeah, go ahead.
You're saying
sir.
although?
I was just gonna say I have some data on that, but it's from end of phase 2. I looked at some top logs. Enhance 80% of their damage was. Wait, hold on. Let me see.
So the thing with enhanced damage,
87% of your
Are you
damage
kidding
was
me? Are you kidding
melee.
me?
oh yeah,
87% was melee and 13 was spell damage.
Yep.
What just happened?
and it's
Did they
it's
really
only
get
going
a-
to get
They got a
What?
fucking torch on this run, didn't they?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Of course they did, and nobody took
They
it
did
because
not. They did not.
they probably gave it to a warrior for PvP or something.
Man.
That'd be so funny.
But yeah, that number, the 80 or by Sunwell, enhanced damage is going to be 95% physical because our casts our magic damage doesn't scale. It is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
set amount. So as we get more physical
Red's
stats.
Red's 5%, maybe 6% if you have an exorcism boss. It's 6% spell damage at the max, and then
Well,
82% of our damage is auto based, but 20 or 25 is that 25 of that is seal damage, so it doesn't scale with armor pen. So yeah, something like that.
yeah, I don't understand the armor pen cope. That's
Wait,
that gets thrown around. I don't get it.
With Rets?
It's
yeah, I don't. Understand.
I don't get it either. It's actually.
What you mean,
it's
people trying to
cringe,
stack
I'm not
it
gonna lie.
and make it work,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Well, even wearing just neck and legs, yeah, they sim even on 6193 or whatever, but you're just I don't know. Why would you use those?
yeah, on a low armor boss, maybe if you're, I mean, it can only ever be equal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's
I don't
never
know. You're
better.
just losing mana. I don't understand what the point.
I could
is.
see it on
Yeah.
I could see it on Mother, where you might have a prop paladin using Annihilator because they're not doing anything else. Maybe then, because then it would actually be slightly better on a low armor. But
Maybe
I mean,
you're counting 5. You're coping for 5 DPS or something in this.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know, man.
there's I don't know if you saw this, but this is actually really interesting. There is an armor pen set in Sunwell that stacks a ton of armor pen, and it's 7 DPS worse on high armor, but it's like 10 better on low armor.
And you're competing with every other fizz that wants that
everybody
gear that
else.
gets
Yeah.
gets like literally
It's
200 plus DPS from the other options.
well,
Yeah.
actually, I should correct myself because that's what it was before Swedge made it, and that's what it was when he simmed it. But I believe he didn't put this. There's like this new CS delay function on the
Oh, he just left
on
it.
the sim, and he didn't have a CS delay in there, and so it was like he was getting more CS damage as opposed to like seals.
Mhm.
And so you put the proper CS delay in there, and you're CSing less, but your DPS goes up because you're twisting more, and then the armor pin set falls further behind. And it is just like way harder to get the gear.
Justify and to even get.
Yeah,
Because like
Yeah.
I don't know, you try telling the Fury Warrior or even the Enhanced Shaman, hey, I get 2 DPS from this item in this scenario, and I lose 5 in this scenario. I want to take it over you, even though you gain 40 DPS from it in every scenario. Like,
shooting.
I mean,
liquid
it's
damage,
already hard enough for us to justify going for like bladed chaos tunic and Thalassian gauntlets and shit. So
Yeah.
I don't see Rets getting bladed chaos over like any other physical,
No,
unfortunately.
there's no point. I mean, I'm gonna go for War Harness, and if I get Bladed Chaos, it just means
Yeah,
we've
but
gotten one every week, you know.
War
Like,
Harness is the problem with War Harness is like it's just so much worse. It's like almost 20 DPS worse. It's like a huge gap.
I know, but like it's armor pen, man. Like I can't take that from anybody else.
You know what?
Yeah.
Now
can't.
that engineering is kind of falling off without chicken, I actually think that some people might go leatherworking for the carapace and do the leatherworking set with go for Coif of Valyria instead, which is also like way hard to get, but go for like Coif of Valyria and carapace instead because carapace you can just craft for free, and nobody else is really gonna go for it unless they're already leatherworking.
Conversations like this is why I can't main ret. It's grim. It gets so grim in Sunwell trying to gear up and find a set that is
But
reasonably.
I mean, to be fair, it's grim for everybody.
And good.
It's fucking great for me. Sunwell's great.
He's got.
Yeah, but
personally,
everything
I'm
is so high demand. Like,
Yeah, but like all
they're
the
all
stat budgets are
interchangeable.
so close that Enhance is eaten pretty. We can pretty much take like besides like Bladed Chaos and like a ring, like almost every off piece is just like, oh yeah, that's within 3 DPS. We can just take the one no one else wants.
yeah, but like leggings of Immortal Knight, you got to fight with every physical DPS except for Ret. You know,
Yeah, but like what physical
and there
DPS
is
do you
nothing
have at that point?
close. Yeah, but
Most of the pieces are.
I honestly wouldn't swap off of
Enhance are
NG, especially if we're talking, speed running. I would
Oh,
never
yeah,
swap
no,
off of engineering.
not for
NG is
speedrunning.
required
No.
forever.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
yeah.
I think NG is required. Period. Like I think if you're a rep paladin and you were swapping to leatherworking, you are inherently making your character less powerful in every scenario.
I think so
Yeah.
too. I
It's
think
just like
explosives are just too big.
I mean, the thing about NG is like if you don't have curse vision, you basically get a free curse vision with the NG goggles when Sunwell comes out because they're about the same. So like that's pretty big if you don't have curse vision, and then obviously like all the little things. Like I could not imagine doing strat without repair bots. Like no, thank you.
Force reactive disc as well. I mean,
Yeah.
rocket boots and strat. I mean, it's impossible.
And Sapper's gonna be better than even like the JC neck on a fight like Maru, where you can hit like 6 targets with your Sapper. So
Yeah, I mean, I would never go JC on Ret. I think
No.
I think like the only item that Ret has a good claim to is like clutch of the like off
Agreed.
Palace. Like that's because everyone else is going to want to go JC. So
I think a couple people do want Clutch of Demise though. Yeah.
I mean, I think
survival hunters. Anyone who's not
will take it. Yeah, because we can't go JC because we're the leatherworking bitches.
anyone who's not anyone who's not leatherworking or I'm sorry, JC. Any physical DPS who's not JC is probably gonna take it.
Yeah, I'm just saying most should go JC. So
most warriors will be going JC. Yeah.
So
I don't know where we were.
Thinking about Rets, right? Are they even viable in speedrunning?
In a fizz comp, 100%.
Yeah, you have to hit 3 blessings, so you got to find a way to add up to. You got to get enough paladins to do that.
Yeah,
you don't really. I don't know. I mean, it's hard because you besides Bob, there really isn't a reason to have more than one Paladin besides Bob and Blessings. So, I mean, Holy Paladin healing is very, very grim. You know, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's literally like half as good as having
I mean,
like a Retro Druid or a Dream State like healing your tanks. Like, I mean,
Yep.
look at the top like Holy Paladins on council, and then look at the top like Retro Druids. Like,
I've
anytime
had
you have
to
2 tanks to heal, it's sad.
play Holy the past 2 weeks. It is a grim experience to play as well.
Oof.
Like,
But I mean, they fit in a lot of comps, and it's hard to
also like
make it work without a Holy Paladin.
keeping up
So-
wisdom when your prop paladin's like off tanking something, you know, like red's crucial for that, obviously. So
Yeah,
Um,
especially
yeah,
if they're on a
wisdom-
different
wisdom is
target
big.
or something. Yeah.
Like Board was saying earlier about pushing your damage to the limit. I think Rhett definitely does have to do that. You know, trying to do absolutely everything on trash just to try and do what little damage they can to maybe justify their spot.
I mean, the spell power set is honestly like pretty
Yeah,
big
in
in that.
Hyjal, it's
Like
yeah,
even in
that's what I was
BT,
leading into, yeah.
even in BT on like some of the bigger packs, it's probably worth to put on
don't-
spell
I
power
don't-
set.
unless you're doing something very weird, pulling more than one pack and stuff, I don't see, especially once people are in BIS, like a lot of those packs are just going to explode, and
They're
you're
just
not
gonna
going to get
drop.
very good value, and you're going to
Yeah.
have mana problems.
Mm.
Huge. Like it works so well in Hyjal because you don't have mana problems. You
Yep.
never ever run him.
yeah.
So I don't really think that's a thing in BT unless you like maybe specifically you have like one big pool that you set up, like maybe you pull all of Kama's room or something.
Honestly, the only one I can think of with spell power set in BT, I mean to interrupt, but the
Uh,
trash that they're doing right here, the Blood Elf big packs, if you were doing multiple of those
They
together,
explode.
I mean,
They
quick,
die.
quick
They die
swap.
too fast.
Yeah,
They-
they
they-
really do.
They die so fast you'd barely get one tick of conk. Like,
And that's
it's
what I'm saying.
bad.
That's like the only place I can see it working in
especially
Black
because
Temple.
it's extremely high sapper value. You're gonna have people like, or maybe
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you might have to assign people to sapper like only a certain number, like per pack or something, because these packs, yeah, they have no health. So I don't think that's a consecrate thing. And a lot of this trash is kind of rough to pull more than.
Tetsu clicking his shadow resistance gear?
Let's not look too hard.
It's Tetsu.
Let's
dude.
not look too
Yeah,
hard.
come on, dude. Tetsu's a
Yeah.
boomer.
Let's not judge. It's just,
Okay, well,
Somebody said I sounded like Tetsu earlier. That was
I can see it a little bit. You're like a little
I
bit
can
deeper.
see.
my voice isn't that nasally.
No, it's just like
That's how you just.
you guys are from the same country, right?
No.
No, kind of have like a similar sort of accent.
I've gone through vocal training, so I have a very American accent.
Apparently, you sound like Tetsu, but went through puberty. So
Ooh.
I mean, that's
Tetsu's balls dropped, yeah.
Oh man.
He's already, he's down in the dumps. You don't need to pile on.
Oh.
He's
Oh
in a
yeah,
bad
he's down in the
spot.
dust. He just got a glaive. It's
Yeah,
fine.
he's got his glaive set or whatever.
Who got a glaive?
That's him.
That's it.
Oh, did he?
On Space Force, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know. That's kind of hype, honestly. When is Board W getting a glaive? Board, don't answer
He
the
was-
question. Deance, please.
That character
So,
is
Board
extremely
W was up for a main hand glaive for
Okay.
a week.
Oh wow!
Right.
For
For exactly 1 week, one of the warriors that was actually up for it wasn't able to make the run. So Board W was primed and ready for that main hand glaive if it dropped. 'cause
oh man.
He was
Yo.
in the split with our main hand glaive owner, and then it didn't drop. So
Oh.
Speaking of glaives, like the drop rate is just higher, right? Like it's got to be, right? Like everybody's getting glaives
don't
all
think
the
so.
time.
I don't
it's
think so.
5%. This like so
I think
we're only seeing people are only posting when it drops. If you look at the actual amount of kills, this amount of drops makes sense. It's
Yeah,
5%
but
per glaive. So you've got roughly an 8.72% to get a glaive.
I think actually
maybe
what's
I'm
happening-
biased, but
because okay, wait. So I don't think like everyone has seen the double glaive screenshot, right? From 2008 or
Yeah.
whatever. That
Oh yeah.
clearly doesn't exist on this patch or never existed. So what I think it actually is it's a 10% drop chance, and then it rolls a 50-50 on the individual glaive. Maybe
That
I don't know if
could
that
be
I
exists.
could
in this game,
see
but-
that. I could see
because
that.
there's no way with this number of kills that there wouldn't have been a double glaive drop. There would have been screenshot.
If there was the
Well-
possibility for a double glaive drop, it would be a 0.25% chance to get both.
Yeah, like
Which we
we're
would have
still
seen.
No, we wouldn't. That's not how percentages work, Vord. Honey.
Well, not necessarily, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like the likelihood is extremely
We
high.
should have seen one by now, but it doesn't mean that it's
entirely likely that
impossible.
we wouldn't have. Yeah.
Well, sure, but I mean, you know, like realistically, like
Realistically
If you-
speaking, it is probably like a 10% table with a split on 50-50 on what drops. Because
yeah.
I don't think they were. No, this is from the Legion client, but I'm pretty sure they copied drop values from original like BT. So
Yeah.
I don't
It's-
think they were very smart about how their drop tables worked. So if I'm willing to bet it is actually just 25%.
I mean, let me see how many. Does
I don't
anyone know
know.
offhand how many Illidan kills there have been? Because it's an
No.
extremely high number. It's an extremely high number.
Yeah.
Way higher than it was for Kale, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's-
There's
it's
already
chunk
like
splits, too.
5,000 guilds that have killed Illidan.
There has been more Illidan kills in the last 3-4 weeks than there were for all of like pre-ZA.
100%.
Original.
Illidan
Like,
last night was
probably even with a larger
4,596.
population.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So I think it's somewhat unlikely that there wouldn't have been a screenshot.
It's like a 1 in 400 chance to get
Yeah.
double glaives if it's possible.
Yeah, okay. You might be onto something there, Board.
It's pretty hard to not have it have happened yet. I mean, it could. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's 100%.
I don't know. It just
possible
feels
in
like
competitive events, but you know,
it just feels like the drop rate's so much higher because
people are killing it.
we played on private server and we did Illidan. We did like 2 private servers and killed Illidan like 60 times
Mhm.
and never saw glaive. And like when we were on Warmane, we killed him like 32 times. And then with another guild, I did it like another 30 times and never saw glaive once. And then
Yeah, but private servers turn it down.
Yeah,
come up to TBC Classic and we get 2 glaives in the first 3 weeks. So
Are you guys splitting? Is this 6 raids worth?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're not
that's
splitting, we're
You
just-
are lucky then. You are
Insane.
lucky.
You are high rolling right now, yeah.
Yeah. I would whoever.
yeah, our
seeding
loot
your
has been
instances-
nuts.
Whoever's seeding your instances, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Can we borrow them actually? We need to get Dax out of the driver's seat.
Holy shit.
If I see more healer gear, I'm actually gonna quit.
I
Yes.
actually have to get my rogue attuned to Black Temple now because I could be up for a glaive in like a couple weeks if we keep getting fucking main hand.
Just level a warrior. Don't play a rogue. Don't do that to yourself.
He's a coach.
It's my PvP only alt, okay? Rogue owns.
Who
Ugh.
gonna tell him? Who gonna tell him?
Rogue owns in PvP. You cannot
Yeah,
deny it.
Okay,
You
okay,
cannot
okay,
deny it.
okay.
Check
all right.
WarcraftLogs.
That's
Check
true.
who's on top all stars, and then what can you do?
Yeah, Rogue is top Rogue is top all stars right now, okay? So
You're right, dude.
It's
You're
that
right.
simple.
39
had that-
bloodlusts.
Yeah,
Don't
if
look
I had
too
that
hard.
man's gear and bloodlust, I would also be top. Jesus.
So
They are getting a lot better though. But anyway.
Talking about trash and their requirements for Warcraft logs. What do you guys think about the trash requirements? Do we think we should get rid of them completely? Do you think maybe they're good? Do you think they, I don't know, just do they need changes? Well, what do you guys think? Let's start with let's go Deance.
Hot take. I don't think there should be trash requirements in speedruns.
Okay.
I think the people that have made any decisions about trash runs or the people that voice opinions about how trash requirements should be there aren't speedrunners. They're not competitors. Like it makes the format less interesting. You don't see skips like they're doing right now on this stream
Mhm.
in speedruns. We can't do it. Like you don't see skips like so actually, I don't know if you have the VOD of what we did for Gurtog Blood Boil. We have a paladin skip all the trash down to Blood Boil while we're doing Reliquary of Souls, pull the boss once we finish Reliquary of Souls, and we get aggro through Druid buffing, and we pull him through the wall and skip all the trash in that entire wing. Like, you don't see wild shit like that in
Yes,
anything
yeah.
other than day ones.
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
You can do some wild stuff, but it's
Coming from.
so hard because you have
Yeah.
to kill the trash eventually at some point. Like so,
Just-
the number of
it slows
crazy
it
things you
down.
can do- Yeah.
Where's this music
I-
coming from?
You have anything else to say about it?
I mean, I'm a hard and fast. I think trash run or trash requirements should be abolished in their entirety. I think they're a bad idea. I think they're suggested by people that don't actually compete. That's it for me. Like, there's no nuance.
I wish I don't hate them when they're constructed well. Like, I think they were pretty bad for SSC. Like, I think the pre-clear was one of the worst things that's ever happened.
Blaze, I love your YouTube recommendations, I gotta say.
Recommendation.
Yeah.
What are
But
they? Go ahead, keep going for it. Sorry.
Beautiful women.
Oh, it's Monique.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Go ahead, keep going for it.
I think I wish both, like, I wish like any percent and like trash requirements could both be like competitive, but there's there's just not enough people to do it.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, 30 minutes ago, like these skips are way too, they're way too good for like people to do consistently, especially without like a lot of practice. And so I kind of understand why trash requirements are here, because they keep it more competitive,
Yeah.
Like
it does.
So and that kind of helps the health of the scene, because if you had like 6 guilds that were doing insane skips and like other people just could not nail them, and like the gap was fucking 22 minutes or something.
Yeah. How much faster were we in Black Temple compared to other guilds because of our wild skip? We were like 10 minutes faster than any other guild in Black Temple.
Yeah, and that's with other and everyone's doing some skips too, right? So
and it's just because no one else figured out the Gurtog skip except for like I think Fusion had it, but they did it a little funky.
Fusion had it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of on the fence about them. I wish they could both be competitive, because I think there is value in having trash required, because I think it keeps things realistic, like comping wise. I don't want to see the big BM Hunter stack because you skip almost all the trash, because that's what would happen, I think.
Yeah, true. I think Warriors would be dead.
Or not dead, but it'd be like half and half, or you would see more mages. I don't know. It's hard to really, guess, because you have to see what people come up with more time. But I like comps that require trash damage. I don't think it's
from like a spectator point of view.
The private server stuff, but yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, from like a spectator point of view, it's like so much more interesting to see trash skips, and like all the different tech on day one.
They're cinematically way cooler than just farming trash.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, it just adds like a little bit of a different element, like having 25 people doing the same thing, having the engineering with the invisibility and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like so much more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Gussie's skip on day one in SSC, like that, people are going to remember that forever. Like just flying, like just running on pipes and stuff. Like that's crazy. And
iconic.
No one's ever going to be able to like figure out like what you could do with that, what the ideal route was, doing all that. Like, and that does suck. Like, I definitely agree that I don't know. There's arguments for both of them. And I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is that like, the game, like speedrunning, there's not a giant player base doing it, and a higher barrier of entry is just going to hurt the scene in the long run, even though the run quality is going to be lower, but I think it'd be even lower than like in the long run if it's hard to get into it. So I don't know. I wish we had more players playing the game, I guess is what I'll say.
Just a little bit more players.
Yeah. Let's just give us like another 2 or 3 mega servers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, easy. So looking at this article that was linked, it's showing like how rare are the Warglaives, because we were talking earlier.
Simonizes numbers here.
Yeah, and it says 35% after 10 kills, and I'm pretty certain we've killed 12, 11, something like that. So we're around this area. So that's kind of crazy, man. Like,
you're approaching bad luck for sure.
I know, dude. I know. We're definitely approaching bad luck.
Blaze to Glaives it's looking grim.
Dude, it's looking very grim. I mean, you're
gonna rally in the second half.
I mean,
don't worry about it. It'll happen.
I mean, dude, it would be nice for sure. Like, we just started getting glaives. Like, Blaista might actually see one for sure, but I mean, at this point, I mean, the hair is staying on the head. What little we have, for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This seems like really good odds to actually get glaives, though, doesn't it?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's honestly great because it's not like they're not like super common, but they're way more common than like it's gonna be to not have a pair before ZA would be incredibly unlucky,
yeah.
Yeah.
and I think that's
probably.
good
Even in a guild that doesn't split at all, it'd be very unlucky.
because like
Well, that's not necessarily true because you could just get main hands over and over or offhands over. And over.
yeah, but
You definitely will see a number of glaives, but
Mhm.
if you actually finish sets, it's possible that you don't.
like he has their 50-50 chance after 24 kills, and that's like 6 months.
Yeah.
That's to get one set. So
Yeah, I mean that'll be P5 at that point probably. I don't know when we're gonna get ZA.
Yeah,
but-
that's a question I have for you guys. How long do you guys think this phase and I guess phase 3 and then phase 4 together will be?
I think ZA goes up on the PTR in like 2 months.
I think ZA goes up on the PTR in like 2 weeks.
I don't know. It could be it could come up in 2 or 3 weeks, or it could be another 2 months, and then it's a short P4. I don't know.
There's no way that these phases will be like standard length because phase 3 and phase 4 combined need to be the length of like one phase, or people are gonna start like quitting.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it'll be a slightly longer. I think it just needs to be not too extreme, like in terms of length. Because it needs to be one arena season and like
it can't be like 6 months or 7 months.
I think it. Yeah. I mean, I think it could be 6 months
for both combined.
I could see 3 and 3. So like I'm basing it entirely off of how they did Zul'Gurub and Blackwing Lair. We got Blackwing Lair, and then 2 months after Blackwing Lair, we got Zul'Gurub. There's 4 months of Zul'Gurub. So like that's
probably
what
accurate.
I was expecting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a catch-up phase, right? Because phase 4 is going to be really good for alts, right? Because I think that's also when Badge of Justice start dropping off of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be great for alts and just honestly just
it's
everyone in general.
The development build right now that the devs are testing currently has badges dropping from tier 6. So
I mean, yeah, that's perfect, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Even my main and alts, hell yeah.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Wow.
How do you know?
Yeah, P4 will be really active. It'll be really good for the game.
I think it'll bring back some people too.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be so easy to catch up.
Those ZA GDKPs, fellas.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know what's funny about ZA is like I can't wait to see all the guilds that like screw up after the first boss and just lose their time chest and like just like start reeing at each other because like one guy face pulled and wiped and they don't get the time chest because everything good's in the time chest outside of like a few items.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy it's going to be to actually fail the time chest. Like
you're gonna have
with
to
how much damage we do, you're going to have to actively try to be bad at the game to fail.
Agreed. I find it very hard to wipe. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be in comparison to private servers, because looking at Endless, it was a little bit difficult, right? What's the first? The Eagle boss. If you weren't stacked up immediately, you would get completely fried just immediately, right? You would just get fried. I guarantee you could probably take a couple hits on Classic for sure.
Every private server Eagle boss was like ridiculously hard.
Yep. And I'm just thinking, I just feel like it'll be way easier. I mean, I just think it won't be uncommon to just look in trade chat and say, ZA bear run the first week.
Yeah.
And you can get into a pug. I mean, I think that'll be happening.
We can all agree that the bear is ugly and like nobody wants it, right? Because everyone's gonna have one, right? Like
that's true. That is true. Everyone's gonna have one.
Everyone's gonna have one, and it's an ugly mount, like just straight up.
I love my bear. I've been using it since like original TBC.
I don't think it's ugly, but it will be common.
It'll be so common.
It will be common. I won't use it because it's common, but it makes me sad.
I mean, everybody knows that the Zul'Gurub Tiger is the greatest mount, and that's why I'm gonna start soloing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think White Hawkstrider, like MX is saying, White Hawkstrider is gonna be. I'm gonna definitely farm that daily for sure.
I am a double Raven or Reigns of the Raven Lord owner, and I'm going to continue using my Reigns of the Raven Lord.
That's insane, dude. Wait, double on 2 shamans?
On 2 shamans, baby.
Okay,
I have to get
alright.
one of
Just 5 to
I have to
go,
get
right?
I have to get one of my alliance characters now too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's dead horde characters that have 'em, so.
Ooh, dead horde characters.
They'll be back for Wrath of the Lich King. Get off my fucking listen.
Uh,
Sure
so,
they will.
thinking about everybody's favorite thing, that is, seen a lot of changes over the past couple months. The chicken, it has finally been killed in WarcraftLogs. How do you guys think that affects the speedrunning meta? I mean, like, obviously you're not going to be trash. You're not going to be using bosses. I mean, do you guys think that changes the type of stacks that are viable? Do you think Faerie becomes less viable? What do you guys think? Let's start with board.
Not a,
I don't think there were. I don't know. Like maybe there were some places where you could have used chicken to like really big effect, like the same way that you could for Leo in SSC, where you have it probably equipped for the fight and you get the squawk like from the whirlwind or whatever, and that like helped make the demon like check, and that was big tech and was really valuable. I don't know if there would have been anything like that in BT. I don't think it is going to make any kind of real difference to it, but I think it was definitely. I think Blizzard messing with it was a pretty big like mistake, not fixing it, not doing anything about it, just breaking it and just giving up. Like those pretty lame. It was probably one of the most like stupidly almost malicious thing that they've done in Classic. I don't get it, but I don't blame WarcraftLogs or anyone who voted to have them removed, because
I understand their logic behind, well, we didn't try to break chicken or fix chicken, however you want to put it, because it was an Illidan issue. And I understand them not wanting to re-break it, but they really just should have re-broken it. And like that should have been the catalyst for them to finally decide to do something about chicken, because they've been thinking about it for a while. They made a couple posts about it, and like my personal preference for chicken that is like a good middle ground for everyone is to just make it unstackable and guaranteed. You drop the chicken, it squawks right away, no matter what. It's guaranteed, but it doesn't stack anymore. You don't need to have 5 engineers.
Well,
I think
do
that's
need to have 5 engineers because you want it up the
yeah.
entire.
well, I mean, in a speed run where you want it up all the time, sure. But like most guilds wouldn't need, if you're just popping chicken on boss, you just need like 1 or 2, right? So
I mean, it's whatever. Like we're never gonna get any version that was different. Like we've got nothing now.
yeah, and I understand why people voted it to ban it, because the RNG is like
It's the
really
worst
shitty to
possible
deal
version
with.
of it. Yeah.
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 I really would have liked to see just a version where either you had to have it equipped and you would use it and it would pop instantly. No RNG, that would have been good. There's a bunch of versions that would have been cool, but yeah, we got nothing, because I guess they figured out. I mean, we have to take their word for it that this is the correct behavior. Was it 2.1 or 2.2? They said that it was fixed and they didn't even know about it. I would say if I was on the community council, I'd be pretty offended. I'm as far as I know, I think some of them are, that they were just ignored. They posted all that stuff in that thread, and then none of the suggestions were taken, and they just gave up. But I don't think it really affects the game much, especially because they probably weren't gonna do anything productive to make it better than the sort of scuffed, sort of worked every time version that we had. I mean, that was pretty obnoxious. I feel really bad for the people that dealt with that all the time. Like in
it didn't even work for the first half of vanilla, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know, who knows what's the deal with
it didn't even work until Nax.
the Dragonling. Who knows what? I don't even remember.
Oh, we know exactly what's the issue with the Dragonling.
What's that?
It's not scaling with engineering item levels, so it's too low to apply debuffs.
Right. Yeah. But
Which
that wasn't
every chicken is the only pet that does that for profession items. The JC ones aren't scaling either for right now.
Yeah.
Are they supposed to?
That was so funny. The JC
Yeah,
the
they're
JC4
supposed to.
was like level 35 or something, or still is. Like
Yep.
I don't know what's going on. It's like too low for even the trinket level. It doesn't. It's like
Does
literally.
that
there's
mean the
some
rogue
scaling
one? I guess the rogue one's just ornamental, right? It's just for show.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
The Panther?
It's an active. It's active. It's just damage. There's no actual like Panther on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. it would be really nice if they cared enough to
Um,
actually develop the game, but here we
Hmm.
are.
so chickens being a part of engineering, engineering obviously being the star of speedrunning. Is that the best profession for speedrunning? Is there a follow-up? I mean, is there a runner-up? Sorry, is there anybody that takes a stick toward engineering?
I
Toward
mean,
Deance.
No, not even close. Like drums are necessary, but drums are kind of piddly shit compared to the pure utilitarian. Like engineering is so good. It brings AoE damage on demand and high amounts with no cap. It brings speed boots, which are amazing for skips. It brings an invis, which is amazing for skips. Like engineering is just it, probably like the most unsung item of engineering. Period. It brings jumper cables.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
jumper
Yeah.
cables save so much time resing from, especially from classes that don't have mana. Like there's nothing that even gets close to engineering. I don't think you can play this game on a competitive level without being engineering. Period.
And
yeah,
that's
especially
everybody in the
speedrun.
raid. Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this phase, I mean, Mother without engineering is
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate it. Yeah, like
especially, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Mother's going to get very fast, very quickly.
Mhm.
yeah.
We did 2-minute Mothers ish this week, like our good ones when we didn't
Yeah,
get
and we're
weird.
we're still in
fails.
splits. Yeah, like
Yeah,
with a
you're
full
gonna.
stack, it's just gonna get faster.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yep.
be like a 90-second or sub that at some point. But yeah, I mean, I don't what as long as that fight is in. Yeah, are you not an engineer? Like
Yep.
on a serious, like any of your characters that you're actually playing, it's just miserable if you get ported.
Mm-hmm.
So
When I play them on my enhance doesn't have engineering yet. Sorry, Deance.
Fix that.
It's terrible having the boots or no boots. It's
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
yeah,
Like
just get
on
your
my warrior, on
stopwatch.
my ret, perfect, right? But it's terrible.
Yeah.
But I think that in terms of just everyone, engineering just doesn't blows everything out of the water completely. Blows it out of the water. So thinking about consumables during speedrunning and stuff like that, do you guys have like a favorite wacky consumable? I know board is a
Oil of
hell.
immolation.
Oh,
No,
embrace the dawn.
boggle root. What is
Oh,
it?
boggling.
Oh,
Boggling
yeah.
root?
Boggling root. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's a
Hell
boggling
yeah,
root
dude.
Oh
shell.
my god,
feel-
that's the worst item ever.
I feel so bad for. Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're a horde ret paladin, it's literally the most irrelevant possible consume. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, boggling roots are great. I got some stacks of them. Don't worry. I used them
Um,
day one, the entire
okay.
time. They're good.
So is that
you know?
your favorite wacky consumable? I mean,
No, I really like oil of immolation, especially on warrior. I think it's
okay.
ridiculously powerful, and
Yeah, I'm a big oil of immolation shill as well.
especially
It
on
just
warrior.
It's just so much bag space. I thought about
It is
taking a bunch to Hyjal. Like one week, probably this week, I'm gonna go into Hyjal with like actually flask the trash and use tetrapots just to see how much I can do.
Mhm.
And I was like gonna go oil of immolation, but I'm already carrying like 400 snowballs for Kazragal, and it's just like it's never gonna work like with a
Your
spell power
Kazragal.
set.
How fast is your Kazragal? How do you?
Well, it's
need-
pretty fast now. I don't know if I actually need snowballs anymore, but I kind of keep them as like a buffer. I think I'm only gonna take like 100 or 200 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you need
Yeah.
400. I don't think you need 400 unless you're doing it on every
But-
single boss.
Dude, they do help so much. Like I know last week we had a pretty fast Kazragal, probably like 90 seconds or so, and it did help me get a few extra systems out. So I mean, it does do something,
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really have an issue with mana ever, I probably wouldn't have had an issue if I didn't snowball. I only used like 100 or 200 maybe over the course of the whole fight, but
My question is, now that we're talking about snowballs, do you guys use snowballs in speedrunning? I mean, obviously not board on this warrior, but I don't know about on his 7 shamans,
absolutely not. They're worthless. I have like shamans at our kill speeds. I have 100% like mana efficiency. I am never going I'm hitting like perfect shamanistic rage. Like just always be at full mana as soon as I get even close. Like as a shaman, once you get geared and once your kill times are fast and your trash times are fast, you can full send like twisting, double twisting at max rank and never go boom. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't even have to drink walk most of the time.
Oof,
Like-
dude,
Yeah.
that sounds so nice.
Yeah, the only time it would like that you're even somewhat concerned about mana is on trash as shaman,
Mhm.
like because
Yeah.
if there's no wisdom, but you can't. Snowball's useless anyway. You know,
Yeah.
like, you're not getting wisdom, so yeah.
So since you guys are
yeah.
alliance, you guys can't even use the undead flasks from Tranquillian, yeah? That kind of
We get we get
Yeah.
10 AP though.
Yeah, on everything, it's way better.
10 AP?
There's
Okay.
There's
Okay,
there's an
that's way
alliance
better.
version, yeah.
Yeah, that's way better.
Crystal of Ferocity, yeah.
We get 10 AP, 10 int, and 10 stamina on everything.
Okay, all right. Embrace of the Dawn shills rise up.
Yeah, Embrace of the Dawn, yeah.
Yeah. You use that, Deance? Embrace of the
Yeah.
Dawn? Okay, hell
100%.
yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go, dude. I love to see Embrace of the Dawn. Like it's actually
It's
so good.
absolutely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
You guys think it's something you use in Sunwell?
no.
That's
Doubtful.
hard, yeah.
It's
Once you're
already
Sunwell,
it's already getting past its lifespan in terms of raid DPS gain.
What
It's
about the
already
guys
like
then?
barely a gain right now.
yeah, it's actually no longer a gain versus because I just got choker off of Supremus, so like it's no longer a net benefit.
Yeah,
So like
if
I
you
probably
don't-
won't be using it.
If the stamina doesn't mean anything, yeah. If you don't
Mhm.
care that people have 10 more stamina, and there's not a lot of fights here where you care. May
Yeah.
Council. May Council would be a permanent Embrace of the Dawn fight. Most of them, yeah. I mean,
However, the crit neck
oh,
stays on entirely, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never stop using that.
I think maybe in Sunwell with the ARP neck, but like even then your shamans aren't going to be using the ARP neck, so they're still
Yeah.
probably using the crit neck.
You might not have everybody use the the neck, the
Yeah.
braided eternium chain. Like not every class would be worth to use maybe, but like rogues, like obviously like that neck's still pretty good for them.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So
Your
like
rogues
they're
are
always
going to be
gonna
your
use it.
pumpers, dude. They have to carry.
I mean they do quite a bit of damage now, and it's only gonna get better, but they they gain a lot from weapon damage and hit obviously, so it's not a huge. I mean obviously if you put it on a ret, you're basically just taking off a next slot
Right.
item. Like
It's really
it
bad.
does absolutely nothing for ret. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's got to be a group that Rhett wouldn't be in for it to be worth. I think, I don't know. Even now, it feels really bad to put on.
like I just go last basically. If we have deaths or something and then we lose our necks, I just go last, and everyone's
Yeah,
cool with that.
Most of the time it's me and a Fury where you're swapping between the two of them.
Yeah.
So we've been watching Black Temple, I guess the progress speedrun, and we're watching, I guess, this speedrun that we found on YouTube.
Oh God.
I'm apologizing. Do you guys think that Black Temple is only going to be really just the hype of tier 6 speedrunning? Do you think Hyjal will see any speedrunning? What do you guys think about that?
Oh boy, Hyjal's not going to be speedrun at all.
Nobody's like, there's nothing cool about Hyjal. It's just you kill the trash faster, or you kill it slower.
It's
It's-
incredibly buggy too, which is the big issue.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
if you are sincerely trying to speedrun Hyjal, come on guys.
Yeah, I have to disagree. People are going to speedrun Hyjal. The question is, will top guilds get baited into like trying to get a good time to not let either like Chinese guilds that aren't really in like the same sort of social circle of just hating it and talking about how terrible it is.
Hmm.
Like, are they going to end up doing it seriously? And
Oh no, the Chinese guilds hate it too.
yeah, but will they get baited too? I don't know. Like it once a very serious guild goes and does it, I think
We all have to, yeah.
people might get baited into doing it. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's actually terrible. I think it's a waste to spend any time practicing. I think it's a waste to gear up the characters for it. I think it's just a waste.
Waste of consumables.
Waste
Yep.
of everybody's
Yeah.
time and effort. I think you're better off splitting that week, even if no one needs like stuff out of splits in Hyjal. I don't care. It's just it's a really poor
Instance.
speedrun.
It's
Yeah.
like it's an auto
And
scroller.
bugs.
It's literally just like an auto scroller.
and I fully expect people to end up fucking speedrunning it. Yeah,
I
and
do
it's gonna be
too.
a giant mage stack, disgusting. Like
No
it's
spell
gotta
power,
be.
Rhett.
I mean, maybe spell. I mean, I don't know.
One for wisdom.
Let's
Maybe
go.
you run wisdom. Is that worth? It might be worth it. It's a lot of mana on if you end up with like 8 mages or something. I don't know.
It is, yeah.
If people end up taking it that seriously, I hate them. But I fully expect it to happen. Like,
oh, dude, it's gonna happen. Don't worry. You'll be sitting there speedrunning Hyjal in about a month. Don't worry.
Say that.
I won't be.
Say that.
Hey, I'm
I'm kind of excited to see Sunwell speedruns. You know,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Sunwell's
Sunwell's
interesting.
gonna be
Like-
awesome.
the Gauntlet. Can't wait to see how people handle that.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
cool.
leading into actually. With the Hyjal not looking so good and Black Temple being, I guess, the main speedrunning thing that we do in early tier 6. How do you think Sunwell is going to be? Do you think there's going to be changes in the comps in comparison to Phase 3, Phase 4 into Phase 5? Think that there will be any classes that come out of the woodworks? What do you guys think? Go with Deance first.
I don't think anything's. It's gonna be full fury, full send. Like Sunwell is inherently the only difficulty in Sunwell is it's a numbers check. The entire instance is a numbers check. The bosses just have to be killed quickly. They have to be healed through, and no one does it better than a Fury Warrior.
The
Like,
packs are all like
trash-
smaller.
Yeah, packs are small. So like maybe if you're full send pulling packs, like entire rooms, you bring Warlocks. I just don't see that happening. It's gonna
Yeah.
be with armor penetration from like all the splits we'll be doing. The scaling is gonna be so ridiculously weighted towards physical DPS. I don't see casters competing at all in Sunwell.
I don't think that you could even pull multiple packs in Sunwell because they chunk.
Yeah,
The trash is hard.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
I
We'll
don't
see.
think they'll hit hard.
We'll have to see about that. You might be right.
That's entirely.
Which would only, tilt towards physical more anyway, if you can. But
I think that's based on like private server, maybe. I don't know. I honestly don't know how Sunwell is going to be because I never stepped foot in it back in the day. Honestly,
Yeah.
So I have no idea how it's going to be.
I think Sunwell's going to be much more full send than like Black Temple's going to be. Black Temple's going to be a much more methodical speed run. Sunwell's going to be molten core speed running, fucking push it to the limit, gas, pull everything as fast as you can.
It might end up being like that, yeah. Like once people are fully geared, I think like the comps that you're going to see are pretty much we're going to go from like right now. You go if you look and see what people are running. If they're running very balanced comps, and I think you're just going to slowly phase everything that isn't a Fury Warrior out. Maybe you'll see more Hunter. Like maybe Hunter will stay pretty relevant. BM Hunter, it's going to be strong in Sunwell when the packs are small. Boss matters a lot.
Legendary bow.
Like they might stay pretty relevant. But it's really just going to be how many Glaive Warriors can you fit into your raid. So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You guys are just a Glaive stack type of guy. Like that's what you guys like. You guys like big Fury Warriors, huh?
Yeah.
It's what feels like is the way to go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see it going any other way. I think one of the most interesting things is whether Rogue will be viable, especially in Sunwell with
In
such
Speed run, I
Okay.
don't know, but
I want this recorded just on the record.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Listening.
Rogues will not be viable
he
in
thinks so.
speed runs. Period. Ever.
Probably not. Yeah.
Some guild
I
will
think
do
that's
it to
true.
prove me wrong or to say they proved me wrong. They are not worth it. They will never be worth it. They will not be worth it in Sunwell. They will be outclassed by every other physical DPS, even with Glaives. They are a sad class for send.
I don't think that's true.
Damn.
I don't think they'll be
No,
outclassed by everything.
You're right. I think they'll have DPS of like Ret Paladins. And
they're gonna do
No,
better than
they'll
like
beat- I'm
they'll
sorry,
even
they'll-
beat Hunters on like with the because they do better cleave than like Hunters do, right? So
yeah,
like
when
more
they're
trash
when their
damage than
cooldown is up.
Hunters and stuff.
I think you could see. I think Rogue can be somewhat like. I think the problem with Rogue is that it's just a worse Fury Warrior generally,
Yeah.
and I would have to. And one big problem with having a Rogue is like in Sunwell amounts of armor pen, it actually starts getting very obnoxious trying to gear. Around MPA, not going over armor pen cap on 6193.
Yep.
It kind of sucks. So that's I don't really want to see rogues, so I don't have to think about that. But
Yeah.
But it does.
I don't think anyone's going to run rogue seriously, but maybe it would have be a good idea. I don't know.
The NBA will go up in value though,
Well,
in
I'm
terms
saying-
of, and if bosses become more of a percentage of the run in Sunwell, which they will,
yeah, if
then
bosses
you know
are
the MPA will be
70%,
stronger.
Well, that's the thing is that MPA will go up in value when we have less armor pen, and then it will tank to almost no value in full bis. Like,
Well, it depends
That's-
because you can always just wear. Like if you
Yeah.
can you can get the armor pen from EA and then wear other gear that might have less armor pen but give you more damage overall. I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
that's
it
going to
depends
end
on
up
how
stacking up.
long. Something to consider about Sunwell is that it's gonna be like a 2-part like thing. Like we're gonna have the pre-nerf and the post-nerf, and depending on how much time each of those is, you're gonna see different stuff, and especially like how much gear people get in that pre-nerf period will decide a lot. Like, yeah, maybe Rogue could be viable if everyone has so much gear that they can pick and have exactly the pieces they need to like make those gear sets work with less like armor pen on it.
yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be the case though. So
I hope every physical is ready to drop their boomkin for Sunwell because it's not happening.
yeah,
Restokin?
There's no like Restokin, sure. I don't think the damage in Sunwell is going to be.
I mean,
typical
Fairy
boomkin.
Fire definitely like is at its weakest now, and it's definitely going to go back up a little bit for at least a little bit for Sunwell
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Well-
none of the gear has hit. Like there's only a couple items with hit in Sunwell, and like most, like it's not like right now where you can get 6% hit for almost no loss. In Sunwell, you actually take a much bigger loss for most classes to get that extra hit.
The issue is that boomkins just don't scale.
But you
They're
could do like
bad.
a Restokin.
Yeah,
What I'll say,
Restokin value goes up. Yeah.
there's not a lot of like at this point, honestly, there's not a lot of guilds that are running a balanced druid in their like main raids or whatever that are gonna drop it. It's Sunwell. Like they've committed to whoever's playing that probably for the most
Yeah.
part. Like
Yep.
they've swapped already if they care. So I don't think that's really gonna be a big deal. But yeah, if you somehow end up without Imp, Fairy Fire, and Sunwell, you're in a bad spot.
You're in a
Yeah.
terrible spot.
You basically
mean-
need Storm Rage Ring for like any physical class. If you don't have Storm Rage Ring, you're gonna be so screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, every class needs Storm Rage Ring anyway. It's game bis for like everyone.
yeah,
Not
Rats,
exactly.
Not rats. We're chilling,
not exactly.
bro.
But
It's not game bis for.
Oh, you heard him. It's not game bis for Ret. They don't need it.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
not.
we're chilling.
Well, it's not.
yeah, we don't.
It's
need
not game bis for.
it's not game.
I think most classes use Twins Ring and Hardcore Band. If I'm not mistaken, I think most classes use those too.
That's like-
I think for Warrior it's really close, but Hardcore Band is like slightly better. I think.
Unless
Like-
you need hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
but it's just easy to gear around the hit from Storm Rage Ring. Like it helps out a lot when you're gearing up.
Yeah, that's really the big plus of it.
I don't know, man. Like that ring is game bis. I love that hit.
It is a very good ring, for sure. But thank God Rets don't need.
Yeah,
'cause
for
I
sure.
would-
I mean,
do not want to fight over that.
it is bis for 6% hit. If you don't have a Boomy or Fairy Fire, then it is bis for Ret in that case.
That'll
But
never happen to me. Don't worry. I will always.
We'll
have
make
3%.
sure of it.
I will make sure, bro. If I get if there's no boomkin, that resto, we're getting a restokin. It's happening.
I don't even have a bis list up in the Discord for 6% hit in Sunwell because like
It's bad.
like who's gonna do that? Like
Yeah,
realistically.
I know. It's poor JCR. My man doesn't have Imp Fairy Fire. I mean, it only gets worse going to Sunwell, like you said. You know.
It's so much worse too.
Yeah.
I can't believe JCR finally got his shoulders. It's actually huge.
Well,
I
Told him.
didn't JCR and Serve get their shoulders?
yeah.
So there's a cool story about this. I go my guild, like it was Valentine's Day, so we weren't gonna raid, or we had like a scuffed raid for Valentine's Day, so we decided not to do tier 5. And so that week I pugged, and I did a soft reserve, and I went to a guild called You Think You Do soft reserve run, and you know, I log on the moment that invites start going out. I ask for an invite. They're like, sorry, we're gonna bench you. We already have a ret. We have too many melee, whatever. I'm like, all right. And this other guy in my raid, who's like the ret who's getting in, he whispers me, he's like, dude, I watch your YouTube. he's like, you've helped me so much. Play the game. He's like, I can't believe you're in my raid. I was like, yeah, I'm probably getting benched, but I mean, thanks, man. I appreciate it, you know. And he's like, oh, this is my guild. I'll get you in. He's like, if you want to come, I'll get you in. This is my guild. I was
Hell
like, all right,
yeah.
cool. So he gets me in. I'm the only person who soft res strangers, and they drop, so I get them.
Let's go.
We go to Vash, 100 deaths drops. He gets the belt of 100 deaths.
Ooh.
And then we go to Alar, Syrian grip drops, and he gets those too. So it was a great raid. It was
Damn,
like
dude.
fucking Rep Pally night.
Yeah, dude. That's
Sorry,
a
my
great
dog's
rep
barking
rally.
in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, but my dog's being an asshole right now.
That is a definitely a feel good story for sure.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Shout out
Yeah.
to Selye. Thanks for my shoulders, man.
Big.
Huge.
Yeah, absolutely huge. So this time, guys, if you're in the chat and you got any questions for me, Serve, Deance, or Board, I mean, just go ahead and hit us. We'd love to answer your questions for sure. But during that time, while they're getting some questions for us, guys, I got to ask you, why even speedrun? Well, I mean, why not just kill the bosses and collect loot? I mean, what is the allure of it?
Gotta go fast, man.
I go fast.
Fast.
Gotta go fast. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's adrenaline. It's serotonin. Like, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the meat. So I'm the progenitor of the gas week aura for Bloodlust. It plays Eurobeat very loudly when you press Bloodlust. I just
Fuck
like going
yeah.
fast. I just like going fast.
Wait, is that a weak aura?
Yeah.
Can you
Here.
send
Wait,
me
when you
that?
say
Yeah,
Eurobeat,
absolutely.
when you say Eurobeat, do you mean initial D music or?
Yes, I do.
Of course.
Yeah, please
Like,
send me that. I'm about to do tier 60 DKP in about an hour, and I'm playing Nance. So
Yeah,
I'm
actually, my guild would love that if you could link that.
yeah.
Here we go. Manuel, hold my beers.
That's a good one.
Let's-
So someone's asked, which members of the podcast have at least one torch? Not me, for sure.
Not me.
I've got one. Got one on my warrior.
Board is
I'm your
banned.
warrior.
Yep.
I don't have a torch.
No torch.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't understand.
Yeah, my Paladin doesn't even have a twin blade yet. I'm still using Lionheart. It's grim.
My Paladin's using a rep sword because I keep losing Fang, so don't start with me.
Oh yeah, I do have Hammer of Judgment, so got that going.
I
Ooh.
haven't seen a drop. I've been doing GDKPs for days.
Unlucky.
Like trash, hydro trash farm.
Yeah, just trash farming for hours on end, and it hasn't
Oh my
dropped.
god.
For that weak aura, do you need to put like an OGG file in your weak auras folder?
No. So
Of
all
the-
you
of the
need
song?
is the song. Like in my actual like link for Wago, it's got a Dropbox. It's got my Dropbox info. So you click there and you just download that file. It's got the actual audio and it's got the Monka steer emote that plays or
Oh,
like shows
nice.
on your screen too.
Okay.
You put that into just like you make a weak auras like a file in your weak auras file, just called custom media, I
Hell
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you just drop weak auras custom, and then you drop those files in there, and it just runs. And you do need an
Yeah.
extra add-on that is like it's a weak aura stop motion, so it'll play gifs that you add and not just like show the picture.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of nice, honestly. I'm definitely gonna have to mess with that. See if I can get it running before GDKP here in about an hour. So Graciak's asking, do you guys prefer the speedrunner? Do you guys prefer to speedrunner content more tightly tuned or easy?
I think easier, probably. I mean, look at how many SSC speedruns got bricked by Hydros or Vash, even without. I mean, some of them were just stupid, or Morgrim. Some of it was like greed, but I mean, I don't know. I think easier lets you. It's already like so time gated, like the number of attempts you get,
Yeah.
and stuff. Like you don't. And there's not really. It's not the content isn't challenging whether it's like slightly hard or not. It's just limits the ability to like push the run as hard as it can be when it's hard, which isn't a big deal until you have limited attempts.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of lame.
I definitely feel like tier 5 absolutely way harder than tier 6. Tier 6 is It's a
Yeah.
great raid. Like it's definitely Black Temple is one of my favorite raids for sure. But like, it's just it's miles easier. Miles easier.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's no danger.
Yeah, I think the only danger is you get like a extremely bad first fatal attraction on Mother. I think it's the only danger that's going to happen in speedruns, pretty much. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, probably.
Which
Like
could
fatal
be
attraction's the big thing.
yeah, on a stack, if there's no like perfect place that people figure out to put her, like, yeah, that could be pretty.
what do you mean?
Pretty
Your
grim,
guys'
but
fire tanks aren't
Otherwise, yeah, it's a
messing up?
pretty chill place to just run through. So
I kind of like when the bosses are a little bit harder. Like I'm kind of excited for Sunwell to see, because like the bosses aren't just going to be a joke like they are in tier 6. Like at least like Maru and Kill Jaden, you know? Like you could have a really good speed run and then just blow it on Maru by not playing well.
I don't think so. Like the old check, because I've done Maru and killed Jaden back in the day.
Yeah, like the
they were
DPS check.
damage checks.
The
That was
DPS
it.
check won't be hard, but there's so much more to that fight than the damage check of phase 2, you know? Like
I
like
don't think so though.
the
I think the mechanics are
berserkers,
inherently easier.
the berserkers, like they enrage and they can just like one shot your tank if you don't stun them. And like if you in phase 2, like yeah, you have the damage race, but like if you don't get a dispel in or you get a resist and you don't have somebody there to back you up, like you can just wipe on that.
the dispel resist.
Or like you know, some of the speed tech that people will be doing, like enslaving the void spawns and using them to help DPS down trash. Like I don't know,
Oh
that'd be cool
no,
to see.
that'll be banned.
You think?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Everything
100%.
has been so far.
They won't allow us to mind control tech at all.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, I don't know. Like, it's not going to be a joke. Like, yeah, okay, the DPS check is going to be easy. Like, Brutalis will be a joke. Maru phase 2, like, you won't have a problem outracing the damage ramp up, but there's still a lot to that fight. And same with, like, Kill Jaden, you know? Like,
Yeah, I
you
think
still got to play well.
I think those fights will be pretty rough. Yeah, and GDPs or like just
Oh.
guilds that are
Yeah.
messing around like the first couple of weeks. Yeah, but once people are fully geared in speedruns, yeah, I think you're just gonna walk over the place.
I think casters will have to know what to do, but like melee on Kill Jaden is very chill fight for us. It's standing and hitting at its best.
This phase generally
Just
this
dodging
phase,
meteors.
like, there's
Yeah, but
nothing
the
on.
meteors are the meteors are so easy to dodge.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Swedge here. He says,
But,
"How's
like, I
the-"
don't know, coordinating stuns was kind of difficult because if you didn't get a stun on each mob exactly when they enraged, like everybody had like a target that they specifically had to stun when it enraged when we did it, and if you didn't get your stun out, the tank could just die. So, and as far as I'm aware, on Warmane they didn't buff like the damage that the ads did. They just gave them more HP. So I think they'll still hit pretty hard. And I know most guilds are gonna like bring the ads over from the other side so they can cleave them all. So you know there'll be some cool stuff with that. It's not going to be as easy as tier 6s, that's for sure, but it might still be easy for some of the top guilds. But like, from a spectator point of view, I like seeing the bosses be a little bit more harder.
Yeah, I could get that for sure.
Yeah.
Ask Deance what spec Costanza would main. George Costanza plays sub Ellie and he's an animal.
For some reason,
It's
I
gotta be
did
incredibly
feel like
greedy and stupid. So yeah,
Sub
might
Ellie.
be it.
I totally
Belly or like Arcane Mage or something, and just asking for every innervate. I don't know.
Arcane Mage, yeah.
I totally thought you were gonna say sub Ellie.
And he never.
Really
and when he
did.
dies, it's not his fault. Like he should have been bopped or something.
He's a rogue. He's a rogue main player syndrome player.
Oh,
Maybe, yeah.
I have a question from Corda Tier 1. He said, "How will Rep perform in Sunwell
way better
on bosses?"
That's actually a good conversation. I'm really curious. Ret might be pretty real in Sunwell.
I think so.
Oh,
like
yeah, I definitely think so.
I mean, just the gap between like the gear available now to then and how Ret scales with haste. Like, yeah, I could definitely see
insane.
Ret being,
And expertise. We get a lot of expertise in Sunwell, so
yeah.
I think the biggest concern for you guys is just you'll scale well, but will you scale nearly as well as like Fury or Enhanced?
The sim places us around without Battle Chicken. The sim places us around 3100 DPS on like a 3-minute fight.
Yeah, I think Ret right now is kind of smashing enhance on single
Yeah.
target.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I'd have to look and see and poke around.
You guys will close the gap though, for sure.
Yeah, as enhanced get geared this tier, we will outpace Ret, but
Yeah.
you guys don't have
Yeah,
power
we're
spikes like we do.
most of us are
Yeah.
already like BIS or close to BIS because like
Yeah.
we get like 5 or 6 pieces this whole phase. So
Enhance has a
Yeah.
lot of room to grow.
plus you guys get
and-
ZA upgrades and we really don't.
Yeah.
Yep. And we scale probably about as well as Fury Warriors do across stats.
What I would say though, I mean, Ret might be like the largest like percent increase from now in Sunwell.
I was
It
going to
might
say that
It's,
too, for sure.
On a
It's
3-minute fight,
I don't think that's even close to true. I think armor penetration outscales everything in every way. Like 100% armor penetration.
You're not gaining. Okay, well, I was saying Fury Warrior doesn't gain that much armor pen between now and Sunwell. Like in this, it's like 400 or something.
Yeah.
400 or 500,
The difference
which is
in gear
good, and it
for
is like
Ret-
sometimes it's going to be the last armor that the boss has, but I'm just saying as a percentage. Like Ret's not going to be talking.
we go from before when we had Battle Chicken, we went from 2500 or 2600 to like 3300.
Yeah.
From phase 3 to phase 5. Without Battle Chicken, it's more like 25 to 31. So it's like 600, maybe 650 DPS. So it's like
20% almost. Like it's
yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, it's definitely our single biggest like phase scaling of anything. But that assumes that like we get a lot of the like that assumes we get Bladed Chaos Tunic, which is like 20 DPS, and then it assumes we get some of this other like highly contested gear. So it depends. Like if you're able to get good drops and actually get loot, like a lot of it relies on having a helm with hit to get like a lot of the good gear relies on having a helm with hit. So your options are pretty much CBOS or NG goggles into duplicitous guys. And if you don't get duplicitous guys, you're not going to be able to drop your chest with hit on it.
I mean,
so
it's gonna be easy for Red to get guys, honestly. Like
Yeah,
it's just,
it's not hard.
I think so too.
But
Enhance is the only other class that even take it, right? Like
in Rogue.
No,
I mean,
fuck rogues.
Red's in the doghouse this phase and in ZA.
Wait,
very
Enhance
few
doesn't
upgrades.
get Coif of Valyria?
We can take pretty much either. They are like within half a DPS of each other, I believe.
Oh,
That's
okay.
pretty much the story of Enhance.
Looks like you're
generally.
getting
Combos,
Coif then.
They don't care. Just give them whatever.
Like its chest and pants are like different because they are so heavily overweighted compared to other like pieces, but every other piece is so neutrally weighted against each other that we just like stats. Whatever has the most stats is the item we want.
Yeah, like
nice,
this is the way I look
honestly.
at Ret. Okay, like right now, we're still doing great. Right now, we're still doing great. A couple of classes though are going to close the gap or just continue to widen the gap if they're already above us to the end of phase 3 as they get more gear because we really don't scale that much right now. But we're always going to be fine. We're never going to be bad. We're never going to be top DPS. We're always going to be solid, carrying our weight, giving good debuffs, raid debuffs, and doing solid damage. One of the highest damage for support class. That's always our position, basically, is the way I look at it. Like, we're going to do great in Sunwell. We're not going to top, obviously, but we're going to do great. And we're not going to be that bad at the end of phase 3 with everybody outscaling us. People will outscale us a bit, but we're not going to be like awful.
Yeah, I don't think Ret will ever be awful.
I was just muted in Discord, wasn't I?
Yeah,
you
you were.
Oh
You
my
haven't said a word
fucking
in 5
god, dude! I've been sitting here trying to like interject, and I'm like, "Why? What's going on?" Like,
I was like, where did he go?
yeah, I know. Oh my god, I'm trying to like, okay, like I got a question from Swedge that I was trying to do earlier, but I we kept talking about that, but holy shit. Okay, all right, we're not muted. We're not muted. All right. So what Swedge was asking, where's it at? Something about debuffs.
Actually, I guess it's like closer to it's like 25-30% from phase 3 to Sunwell.
Yeah, it's very
2500 to 30. It's like 600. So yeah, it's like 25%. Anyway, what's Swedge's question?
So the question is, how does the value of different raid debuffs or buffs scale going into Sunwell?
Ooh.
We already talked
I
about
guess,
Fairy Fire.
yeah. I guess we should like pick a buff. Like so.
Yeah, I would say
MPA.
Faerie Fire. Yeah.
Very fair. Okay, so
Yeah.
We've already talked about NPA enough, I think. But yeah.
true. Fairy Fire goes up as hit on gear decreases. Like we've spoke about it earlier. There's not a lot of hit on Sunwell gear, so that hit rating goes up. Like especially because hit just inherently as a stat gets better the more other stats you have. Like, I think Imp Fairy Fire just gets better as we go on.
Yep.
From
the
here,
always the
yeah.
always the question though is like it's not worth it bringing a Boomkin even now. So like you have to find that rest token.
Yeah, you have to get one, which obviously I think a lot of guilds struggle with. A lot of people don't like playing it because
Bad. Feels
they're
bad.
they're robots. No, it's a good spec. It's a
Oh,
good,
man.
it's a really good spec. I think it's one of the most engaging specs in the game to play.
Boomkin?
No. Dream State. I think.
Oh my god! I was like, what is Board saying?
No, I think the class where you spam multiple ranks of Starfire hoping you don't run him is sick. No, Dream State's really good, and people cope that it's not, especially in the Discord.
Yeah, I think Dream State is so good, for sure. Yeah. What about like other buffs, like you were saying earlier, Deance, like improved expose armor? I think that's what you were about to talk about.
Yeah, so exposed armor has got this like it's a valley basically. As we get more armor penetration, MPA gets better, much better. It goes from the 4% damage that it is now, and full BIS this tier, I think it ends up being somewhere closer to like almost 5 or 6% DPS increase. Yeah. The issue is the second you get overcapped, it plummets to 0.
Yeah.
So in Sunwell, when we have like people are hitting armor penetration cap on like the 6200 armor like targets, MPA's value is near 0 at times.
Yeah, you have to gear around it.
You have to gear around it, yeah.
It's possible for some. I don't know how possible it is for other like leather classes. I'd have to look at the gear, but there's not really options the same way that there is for plate, where like the Fury Warriors are just like whatever. I'll just stack.
Just put on like Fell Fury or Berserking Shoulders or whatever.
And it just requires you to wear other gear. But here's the thing, though, is that makes your trash damage worse.
Not necessarily.
Because then,
you can swap it back on for the trash.
Yeah, I guess you can. That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think MPA is a very good buff.
I think it's possible that it's good, but I don't think people are going to look into it hard enough to see whether it's worth it. Because you can play around it and gear around it. If this was like an infinite amount of time to like run Sunwell, like, and people got all the gear possible, it might be true that it's better in like a full fist stack. But
so I'll say this: as a speed run, I don't think it'll ever be worth it. Period.
Yeah.
I think trash damage is inherently just too much of the requirements.
I don't know if there's enough in Sunwell. I think we might be like, it might be like a 70-30 like boss trash damage split, where like rogue, especially like some of those packs, like they're like good for Blade Flurry and stuff.
And they're small, small packs, like 4 or 5 packs.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, rogue is going to out DPS a lot of the other support-ish classes.
Yeah. So if you have a rogue heard you start calling them a support, they'd be screaming in chat right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. But I think the rogue meme thing has gone a little far. Like it has. Like there is phases where it's absolutely. I mean, it really was pretty fucking useless last phase. Like
I don't know. I've been burned before by them. I'm not gonna even be hopeful that they're good.
Yeah, it's got so burned into people's brains that rogues are bad that like it's just like they're starting to get actually good now, and people still treat them like they're absolute dog shit. But for speedruns, obviously, like their place is it's like they don't really have their place in a speedrun, and they might not ever.
Is that you pretty much, if you wanted to bring a rogue to a speedrun, they pretty much have to GTKP their glaives or something insane. Like
because there's literally it's never the right choice to give a rogue glaives over a Fury Warrior in a speedrun.
For a speedrun, yeah.
It never will be. So
unless you have every Fury Warrior that you ever plan to bring with glaives,
pretty much
you just make another Fury Warrior. Like,
well, that's the thing is you're saying at some point. I'm saying that at some point maybe instead of having 8 or 9 Fury Warriors, like having 1 be a rogue might be better. That's like what I'm saying. Which might be true if they all had glaives, and then the rogue also gets to have glaives. Like then maybe that makes sense.
Don't get it twisted. They're gonna be They're gonna be a top 3 single target class. With glaives. They're definitely going to be.
On Demon.
If they're not already going to be. phase 3. So
Who will be top 3?
This
It'd be-
phase?
No, next phase. I
Next
don't think
Phase 4
Sunwell?
or phase 5?
I'm talking about phase 5.
I'll tell you, it's gonna be Hunter, Warlock, Rogue.
Hunter, Warlock,
Well, Rogue and Fury are kind of like tied, but it's gonna be Hunter, Warlock, Rogue / Fury.
I was actually
Top
thinking
3.
Ret.
disagree entirely. I think it's gonna be Hunter. I think it's gonna be the same as it is right now. It's gonna be Hunter, Fury, and then maybe Warlock, and then Rogue.
I don't
be
think I don't think Warlocks will be up there at that point. I think Warlocks
Yeah,
are just
probably
falling off at
not.
a rapid pace. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think they scale pretty good from here on out. Like I really
That's
do.
the thing though. Casters don't scale as well as melee. That's just how this game works.
Yeah.
Like
They don't.
like Sunwell is such a massive power spike for everyone, but the physical scaling is so ridiculous. It's literally the like this is the biggest scaling we've seen. Period. This game so far.
You need
Like,
to realize these Kill Jaden is gonna be twice as fast as it was on private servers, even unbuffed.
I mean, maybe
we
Arcane
were-
Mage takes that spot then because of how fast the bosses will be. I know they're still using like tier 5, but like still, the faster the boss, the more they scale. So
Yeah,
like
that's
I could see Arcane Mage
possible.
taking that spot instead, but I don't think Warlocks are like. I still think Warlocks are gonna be up there. Maybe like 4th instead of top 3 or something like that. But they're definitely gonna be up there, like no doubt. Like I mean, I've done Sunwell a number of times on a number of different servers, and Warlocks were always like a top 3, top 4 in Sunwell.
I don't think private server data can help us at all. Really.
Yeah, because
I
you have to
agree.
realize Fury Warrior didn't function correctly on so many private servers, or pretty much all of them. Like they just
Yeah, they didn't have
had
the heroic
glancing
strike.
values.
They didn't have the heroic strike queuing thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't exactly correct, which didn't affect. Most of it had no effect on Warlocks at all.
Something that I think needs to be said though is that Fury is going to start running into threat issues. I think. Like I really do, because they don't have like any threat mitigation besides the talent, and they already kind of have trouble when they really pump. So I think that like it's going to be tough for Fury.
I will say, in speedruns, in speed kills and stuff, I don't think that'll really matter because Feral Druid is actually the most overpowered spec in the game.
Yeah, their threat scaling is ridiculous. It's unstoppable.
I don't know. It depends on. I really want to see what Prop Paladin can do.
In Sunwell,
and whether
it'll be
Paladin is a
interesting.
viable main tank.
I think they do even more threat
in
than the
Sunwell,
Druid does
yeah.
on a demon.
No, they do not even close. Not
Not even
On a
close.
demon?
No, not even close. Exorcism is it's helpful. It's great snap threat, but its TPS is not anywhere near. You'll never get close to Feral. In
Even right now, if your Bear Druid is losing aggro on anything single target, your Bear Druid is bad at the game.
Yeah, or
Agreed.
they're screaming, "I've been parried 14 times." There's
That's true.
Parry Mango, Parry Mango, Parry Mango.
Parry Mangle. Yeah.
I can't do the British accent very well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah,
Our Bear Druid is British.
Very vocal. But,
British in an NA guild, huh?
Yeah, she's a riot.
Yeah,
well, you can't really have a. I mean, you can't really have a Prop Paladin tank Brutalis, so that'll be. I guess you just have to run 2 bears.
Yeah. Double bear is the future, bro.
Because their threat or their taunt just has too long of a cooldown and resists way too much.
Well, I mean, you could just run a very high spell hit set or something. If you,
I guess
you will see Prop Paladins tank Brutalis.
It's possible. It's just way
I don't
less
think it'll
safe.
be optimal. It's probably what we probably won't do it week 1. Because we're gonna go for the safest, but I don't know. I think it's probably totally
For sure.
It's doable. It's just definitely much less safe because you don't have a backup taunt when it resists. You're just you'll have to adapt to it by turning the boss and hoping that the other tank can out threat you and take over.
I was gonna say, as long as if you're second threat, you can just bop the other tank or whatever. There's ways to play around it. If you get resisted, I don't know. We'll see. The prop out, the tanking meta going forward, whether 2 tanks, 3 tanks, and who's tanking what bosses and stuff. We never got to talk about the Warcraft logs change, actually.
Which one?
But you were in the talking points. We were going to talk about Warcraft logs, what we could change, but we never got around.
Oh
to it,
yeah,
actually.
no, the intro. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll ask that right now. Is our final question to you guys. What would you guys change about Warcraft logs if you could change it?
You can go ahead if you have something, Deance, or I can start.
I mean, like my big axe to grind is always just trash requirements. Like
Okay.
I don't know. Like I don't like trash requirements. They make runs worse because like validation of speed runs because of some piddly shit. Blizzard's fault always sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. Like I don't care about parsing
Yeah.
at all, really. So it's not the only thing I look at Warcraft logs is like the progress number and the speed. So
Yeah.
all that exists there for me.
Yeah. There's
Yeah, I
way too
don't
many
like the
categories
trash
that don't matter.
requirements either.
Besides like log reviews for my own performance, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. What
I
about
was
you?
You know-
I was gonna say all stars for tanks. It reminded me of like just selecting, like thinking about like who would be tanking what bosses reminded me, like because like having the incorrect tank a boss for all stars or something, like all that, the entire stupid guild politics, guild sabotage of people, competing for tank all stars, like just remove that shit. Spending all this time for different stance requirements and like damage taken requirements, just dump it in the trash. Like,
Yeah,
God.
if I ever see a warden like subcategory, I'm screaming.
Yeah, like it was just a waste
I have
of
that.
time.
What are you talking about? I got hundreds all across the board, bro.
You know, on the topic of tank parse,
Ugh.
like
Mhm.
they need to make so boss ads count for tanks only, because like if you like for a lar
Oh yeah, if
or
they're
for
not
like
guild.
Just
yeah, like
remove.
if you're
Just
doing a
remove
lar
it.
or whatever, like you don't even show up basically
Yeah, no,
if they don't
the
die.
prop hound I was playing with last phase, literally like until the last couple weeks where we started, like when they changed it and like you could actually, when killing them, well, I guess you could always kill them, but until people started killing the ads, you were doing 5 DPS over the course of the entire fight, like from the start when you hit a lar, and then you're just hitting stuff that doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so
It would have. The problem is that you go down that rabbit hole and you try to fix every single thing that affects tank parses, and you never ever get to stop tweaking it. And like DPS parsing, like obviously there will always be an element of like at the most extreme level where you're like griefing your raid, like
Oh, 100%.
don't hit the striders and shit like that and bash P2 and stuff like that. And you can't
Oh.
police all that stuff, but it's at least realer than tank parsing like that.
Yeah.
Just remove it. Just remove all stars. Whatever.
Remove all stars just completely.
Well, for tanks, but I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, it's kind of wild. I feel like parsing is mostly a DPS game.
Yeah.
You're trying to individually parse. It's
Oh yeah,
mostly a DPS game.
healing parses too. Like make the healers compete on damage.
Yeah,
See how-
I agree with you.
Hell
That's
yes.
like-
I want to see some smiting.
Yes,
Yeah,
dude,
like,
I agree.
Really make people
100%.
care about that.
Shout out to my boy Lucerus, number
for sure.
2 smiter, number 2 smiter in the world now. Sorry,
Ooh,
Lucerus.
Wow.
number 2.
Doomed.
He got outpaced.
Relegated to number 2. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
He'll get climb back.
you know,
up.
people are gonna make fun of me for this, but I would really like to see, and you guys are also gonna hate me for saying this, but I would like to see the main category for parsing not include multiple lusts. You can hate me for it, but fuck it, I'm saying it.
Look, the only
Nice.
reason you say that is because you're playing something where it's like borderline whether you get 2 lusts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I mean, nobody in my guild gets
More
double
than-
lust, but
Okay. Oh, that is also something that I could see going forward is more lusts in Sunwell. People running 6 or 7
Oh.
shamans, very standard.
Yep.
yeah, I just think it's so dumb
100%.
that you just add a shaman and now all of a sudden you like massively advantaged over
70,
everybody
90,
else.
Yes, at least, yeah.
Insane.
Like
yeah.
at least have a separate category, like I understand like you can just show the number of lusts beside, but still like it should just at least be a separate category.
I love it because that number next to their name does nothing. It doesn't matter.
It does
No one-
nothing.
no one
Nobody
cares.
cares.
Yeah, unless it's
It's
like some
for-
insane number, no one cares.
Yeah.
Even if it is some
Like-
insane number, we like,
Yeah, they still
look at
have
that.
number one.
Yeah, this is number 1. You're
This man
like,
got 4
yeah.
lusts.
Yeah, sure, he got 4 lusts, but guess what? You're still number 2, asshole.
yeah,
Like-
I know.
Yeah, you still lost. It doesn't matter that he got 36 buffs.
I wouldn't. The problem is that I think that it might be like technically correct. That's the problem is you never want to discourage something that's actually the correct way to play the game. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
there are situations where it might be better to triple lust a group.
Oh, 100%.
So
Well, there's no like
that's-
DPS checks that will require it.
Sure, it doesn't matter though. If the boss dies faster by doing that, then it's the right thing to do. So
Yeah.
that's the problem. Is that you don't want to put those, like if you said only 2 lusts, like right now today, and then like get into Sunwell, everyone's running 7 shamans or something, and then it's like, well, yeah, you triple lust the Faerie Warrior Hunter
I
group or
wouldn't
something.
have been upset. Sorry to cut you off. I mean, I wouldn't have been upset if they added sated debuff to Lust in TBC. Like, I would have been actually really happy with that, so that
Maybe.
you cannot get multiple lusts. Like, I think that would have been a positive change, because it
I
doesn't.
wouldn't-
No bosses require it. There's not a single boss that requires multiple lusts to any group. So I think that just like makes it better for everybody. So you don't have to have like 7 shamans to compete.
I personally love double lust, to be honest.
Yeah, I think one thing that would have happened is that people would have had a bad time on Illidan early.
Yeah.
Like if people would have actually had to do P4 Illidan.
Oh god.
That's actually so dumb that you can just skip it. I mean, like it's cool in some
Yeah.
ways, but it's also so dumb that you can just ignore what is honestly the coolest part of the fight.
I don't mind it if it would be like a late phase thing where like it's like Leo where you skip the end.
Yeah,
like, that was
but at least
cool and fine. That you
at
had
least
to
you
try
still
and
see
set up
all of
cooldowns
Leo.
for it. Yeah. Well, I think it's like sort of a similar thing. Like, but yeah, like the day one, no one wanted or really needed to see that. Yeah, that's not really well tuned at all. But it's just, where we are with people having this much gear and weak auras to tell them how to play the game, and I mean, everyone doing twice the damage that people were doing in 2008.
Yeah,
so
for sure. It is. So reaching the end of the podcast, I appreciate having all of you here. It's board serve. Have been great.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got any last minute things you want to talk about? Last minute things you want to say? Anybody you want to shout out? Your healers that maybe heal you when you're taking a little bit too much damage, something like that. Go with board first.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got one sentence. Do not give Rhett C-Boss.
I knew it.
I told you I'm with you on that. Like I'm with you on that. After Fury, after Enhance, after BM.
Oh boy.
Hard to disagree. Not first, but third probably. Third, fourth.
Just so much trash this phase.
I just think it's after the Fury, after the Enhance, after the BM. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, like tons of
I mean, if you're going after all the BMs, you're ended up like 7th. So
I only have one BM in my raids. So
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I only got one BM. I have 2 Furies though. 2 Furies, 2 Enhance, 1 BM.
Yeah, I think
we still run 3 BM, 1 survival. Well, sometimes we usually have 1 BM on the bench, but
yeah, it's a wacky raid comp.
We run the traditional hunter group, melee group, warlock group, mage/healer group, traditional balanced comp.
Nightmare.
Deance, anything to follow up about the CVOS advice? What do you think?
You know what? Just follow the prio that works best for your guild. Obviously, give it to your enhance first in every scenario. Obviously. Other than that, I mean, yeah, shout out to the guys at Overclock. If you guys are looking to start speedrunning, you're on Alliance. If you're on Horde, we're NA #1 currently. You can check us out at overclock.gg. Give us a look if you think you can run with the best. Got that competitive need to go fast.
Yeah.
No, whatever you're playing, doesn't matter as long as you're willing to play a bunch of alts and
yeah.
If you're bumping Eurobeat, it might be the guild for you. Yeah.
Eurobeat required.
Yes. Speaking of which, I'm still waiting on that week aura. I gotta have that week aura.
Oh, I linked it to Blake.
Oh, I posted it in the actual chat.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, no.
You guys got like streams you want to plug or something?
I kind of stream mostly just for like the enhancement shaman kids. So I'm twitch.tv/Deances. If you want to really check out everything we do, you can check out twitch.tv/AURO_. It's our guild leader or warlock lead or now playing a Fury warrior. Watch for it.
Very chat.
Aura's great. He's like the big brain behind us.
Yeah, he's really good at streaming with his mic muted on accident.
Yeah,
trying to
or
talk to
streaming,
chat.
or
do that
streaming
too.
the wrong window because he's on 4 different characters.
Yeah,
So he's doing an entire split and streaming an AFK warrior. In the back.
He's got 400 things going on at once. But,
He's
be
great
patient
though.
with him. Be
Yeah,
patient with his
he's a workhorse. He does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate having everybody here. Sir, you got any last minute things to follow up with the CV?
No. I mean, honestly, just give it to the player who deserves it most.
I agree with that.
Obviously, if you're gonna go for DPS, then the data's out there. We spent a lot of time working on that sheet to give people good data on how to decide CVOS if they're going for DPS oriented loot prio on it. But it's one of those items where player over the class, and I just wish everybody out there best of luck getting Warglaives, parsing hard, and send my condolences to all the dead chickens resting in banks.
Yeah.
Rest in pieces.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I will miss you so much.
Yeah,
Praying for them
I will
every
miss the
night.
chicken for sure. It was a lot of fun. But guys, I appreciate it. It's been fun. Maybe we get you guys back at some point.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
see.
Yeah,
Maybe a little speedrun review at some point. But yeah.
We can see if we can drag like Oro in here or something too.
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
Glazed, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about maybe we do another PvP episode next time.
Yeah,
and,
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I was talking to maybe we get Calamera on this time and some repeat. Get Moby1 back
Moby1,
on, Can It Nerd. So
absolutely, dude, I'm down with that for sure. I'm down to do another PvP one.
Sweet.
But yeah, I appreciate having you guys on very much so. Very much so. And I will be back, chat, in about 15 minutes. I'm going to be doing tier 6 GDKP. But yeah, with that, guys, peace out and have a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, see ya.
See you guys.
This show was brought to you by Light Club, where monkeys go to church.